So this was obviously not the plan. I don't like surprises. I'm a very schedule-oriented person. I'm about to talk about this very YouTube video and why I'm here in this video. So if you're new here or don't care about any of that, skip to this time code. Also, just a little bit of homework. You should probably watch this video first. I had this whole year planned out to a T and nothing was gonna get in my way. I was finally on top of it. I have already begun writing scripts for videos going through December, and it's been very hard to not reference the future on accident. In my YouTube career so far, there has been one major obstacle standing in the way of making all the things I want to make. Time. Will I have enough time to make everything I want to make, to do everything I want to do? Will I even want to dedicate all my time to doing this show specifically? I don't know if you know this about this business, but we don't have a very long shelf life. We all saw what happened to the last guy who hosted this show. Speaking of Halloween, if you were a fan of the Bray Wyatt series that was previously on this channel, BH Ultra, first of all, you should watch this video explaining why it's not here. 2, or I guess closer to 1B, I did plan on continuing the series this year, but basically the entire Bray Wyatt script I had written for October has been scrapped because what else am I gonna do? And thus, the entire series has been scrapped. And it took me a while to come to terms with this fact. It happened in very late April. And for a while I mulled it over until I realized I had this epiphany. It dawned on me that it being taken from my hands forcibly sort of gives me a new layer of freedom. I've gotten into the habit of increasing the quantity of these very large projects. Like 1 or 2 nearly 10-hour videos a year is manageable, but the year just started and we're already at 2. That's all we've done this year so far. The plan was, pulling back the curtain a little bit, a lot of it, was to do the 3rd part of the Bray Wyatt saga this Halloween, the 4th part the next Halloween, and then finish the entire story Halloween 2027. You may think that planning videos all the way through 2027 cannot be good for my mental health, and you'd be right, but what I ended up having to do instead is tweaking the original video I planned doing in May into a Halloween video, leaving May 2025 entirely blank. And then at the end of this video, I decided it'd be better if I released it early June, even though it is technically the May video, so still, self-fulfilling prophecy, May is still gonna be blank. But that's when it hit me. I don't want any more loose ends, any more open books. One of my favorite series on this channel has been removed from my planning board, and only now did I realize that I've started a lot of stuff I can't finish. Like, obviously, I'm gonna complete the Smash Bros. Trilogy. There are no more Portal games or new seasons of Total Drama. Who could have seen this coming? There's always gonna be more shows and Pokemon games and musical episodes. I hate the implication that these videos are long just to be long. I don't stretch these out on purpose. I start writing, and then I finish writing, and then I look at the page number, and then I sigh. You guys do realize that the videos being longer only makes my job harder. Why would I do that on purpose? I mean, if I had it my way and I had an infinite amount of time, I would have made the Smash Trilogy all one video and the Portal games all one video. But more and more, I've had to cut down my larger projects in scope into multiple parts, and then when returning back to them, lose inspiration to continue. The original plan for the Kids Choice Awards saga was, and I'm not joking, because I covered the first 22 years of Kids Choice Awards history in the first video, I wanted the second part to cover the next 22 from 2009 onwards, meaning that I would make a sequel to that series, this video, in 2030. That was my excuse to pushing this series off. It's like, oh, I'll cover it again when we get caught up again. I'd be 29, pushing 30. And my age, my mortality, that ticking clock really got me thinking. Do I want to keep doing the same thing when I'm 30? Do I even really want to continue a series into my 20s that I started when I was 20? I'm going to be 25, mid-20s. It's over for me. This is a joke that only applies to me. Don't let me give you a crisis. The removal of the Bray Wyatt saga against my will ostensibly lit a fire under my ass and pushed me to finish all the things I wanted to do. Every year I plan all the videos out to a T, and every year at some point I need to shuffle things around in crisis. My Google Docs is going nuclear. There are ideas I've been sitting on since this very channel began 6 years ago. I'm tired of sitting on these series. It's time I pulled up my big boy pants and actually finished one of them. All of that to say, it was never the plan to do 2 Nickelodeon videos videos back to back. I've always been more of a Cartoon Network kid anyway. And it's at that point that I realized the actual reason I stopped the Kids Choice Awards at the 2008 is because the rest of them are really hard to find.
After being engulfed in green gelatinous goo!
We've been over this over and over and over again. I already know that Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards is coming March 28th to Nick. It's gonna be loaded with stars and stunts and slime. You've already had your chance. Now it's mine. You are gonna tell me what I need to know.
Okay, I'll tell you what you need to know. What you really need to know is how to dance.
The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2009, held out of the Pauley Pavilion, hold for applause, live on March 28th, 2009. Hosted by former WWE superstar The Rock, including guest presenters like Sandra Bullock, John Cena. Wait a minute. How long have they been planning this? I thought the purpose of this video was to not talk about WWE. And I thought this was gonna be an example of another lost Kids Choice Awards. Sort of. I found several rips of commercials from the air date on YouTube, which means that someone somewhere recorded this, and that recording was shared on the internet at some point. And I mean, of course it was. This was the Kids' Choice Awards. Millions of households were watching, and I would hazard a guess that hundreds of thousands were at least DVRing. And what separates this crop of Kids' Choice Awards events from the previous we covered in the previous video is now we have fully stepped into the age of YouTube. Like, I know that YouTube has existed since the early 2000s, and the first video was posted in 2005. We have surpassed 20 years on this website as of right now, and I'm just a blip in the grand scheme. I guess that's why I should continue to push myself to keep doing this. So if I do this another 20 years, I could say, hey, I was there for over half of YouTube's lifetime. That is, if the internet even exists in 20 years. Blip? It's actually pronounced blimp. And I joined the site in 2008, but in 2009, the ease of access was so incredible that anyone with an iPod Touch could access the entirety of the website in one touch. Because of said ease of access, this is the first time we have found footage that we know took place at the 2009 event, because the upload date is from 2009. But actually, this clip is from the 2008, and I didn't include it last time, so I'm including it now. It's actually a really bad example. Consisting of the cast of iCarly in character calling out outside the ceremony ahead of time, as everyone's favorite character, Spencer Shea, was commissioned to make a sculpture for the event.
Made from over 10,000 actual wieners. That's a lot of wieners.
That is a multitude of wieners, which makes me hungry. We'll be back in a few.
Of course. The actual footage of the iCarly cast from the 2009 event was footage of clearly a child pointing their video camera at the TV, where we see Nathan Kress and Jeanette McCurdy hosting a burp competition, including competitors the likes of Poof the Baby Fairy. I'm gonna show my age here, or rather lack thereof. I've said this before, I actually really like Poof. I don't know why, but to me, it could just be my age again, but I don't think that Poof marks the death of the show. I think other characters they added definitely do. And of course, the star of the hour, Otis the Cow from hit television show Back at the... No way am I starting that bit again. You should watch this video, even if it is all red. People really hated the barnyard bit, like saying the name the barnyard. And I say this because, again, at first I thought the event was mostly lost. At least to me it is, as all I could find was commercials. But then as the event continued, we saw tertiary awards presented during the commercial breaks by the Naked Brothers Band. I should reiterate every time, I did not name them that. And some of these awards make sense. Favorite song being Single Ladies. Obviously, Beyonce wouldn't come anywhere near here, so they announce it during the breaks. And then with every break, they announce more and more. There were 18 awards on this show, and I swear like 8 of them were divided up between these breaks. Like, at least we get to see it, but you mean to tell me SpongeBob got cut for time? I'm kind of glad they presented favorite TV actor in these quick snippets, because the winner of which was Dylan Sprouse, and the loser of which was Cole Sprouse. Like, doing that on stage would just be cruel. Okay, so if most of the awards were presented during the commercials, what even happened during the show? And do I even need to find it?
And the Kids' Choice favorite is...
2009 was a formative time in my life. One through line within the bumpers between the commercials was the world premiere of the new spin-off 3D animated series, The Penguins of Madagascar, which would air its first episodes immediately following the Kids Choice Award event 2009, which is probably why Madagascar 2 Return of Jafar or whatever beat out Kung Fu Panda and Wall-E. Are you kids fucking stupid? Now this would normally be the part of the video where I watch the Penguins of Madagascar premiere like I did for the premieres of all the shows that aired immediately following the Kids Choice Awards last time. Angry Beavers, SpongeBob, Cat Dog, Danny Phantom, All Grown Up, Jimmy Neutron. All shows that aired their first episode, asterisk, immediately following the Kids Choice Awards, and now the Penguins of Madagascar would join that lineage. But I've already talked about the Penguins of Madagascar. I've said everything I could. I talked about the entire series 2 years ago in the award-winning video, The Forgotten Shows of Nickelodeon. I've said all I have to say about those 4. You remember that video, right? The video that exists solely so that the host can talk about fast food tie-ins of all these cartoons and had the makeup seared into my face for days after? I know where this is going, and I don't want to go.
Cool. It looks like I've been slimed in a slime mirror.
Let me see. Hey! I look slime too!
Awesome.
What?
With every BK Kids meal, you can slime it up with a slime-inspired toy. One per kids meal, now with BK Fresh Apple Fries.
Hey! Look, another slime mirror!
I know I'm still pretty young, right? Like, I'm 24 now, but this is a bit I first did when I was 21. At what point do you get too old to be this character? I guess the purpose of the character was to be existential. While we're on that topic, not to gatekeep, but in the first Nickelodeon video, when this character first popped onto the scene, I snuck in a little Severance reference there. That was in 22, and now everyone wants to say that they were watching Severance the whole time. Oh, have you seen this new show? New show! I've been trying to put you on for years now. You're welcome. What we have are 6 Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2009 Burger King toys. And unlike something like the Minecraft movie, or the SpongeBob television show, or the Minecraft show, or the SpongeBob movie, or the SpongeBob Minecraft, the Kids Choice Awards doesn't really have original characters. Anything that you could easily make into toys, easily translate like that of an animated film. It's kind of like Smash Bros. I'm going to keep bringing up Smash Bros. Like Captain Falcon in Smash Bros. Is almost entirely a new creation for that game, but also like he exists from a different game series. Let's start with the Kids Choice Awards 2009, I don't know, burp machine. Not intended or recommended for children under 3 years of age. Alternative toys available upon request. Do you guys have Pinkie Pie? At least I can pretend it's Wewity. It's such a shame they put that on the back of the bag. If you go to Burger King or McDonald's, any fast food place, with a very young minimum age worker, and you go up and say, hey, can I request a different toy? I think they should legally be allowed to shoot you. These are toys that have been in their packaging since 2009. But not anymore. Also, if it looks like the table's a lot dirtier, and you're wondering what happened to the classic iconic table, I wouldn't ask questions you don't want the answer to. If my hands look more pink than usual, it's not because I am pink. It's because I just applied this makeup. Actually, sorry, this is my face. I don't know if this is canonically a different character or not. I don't know what we're doing here. So we have a burp button, and you hit the button, and nothing happens. Oh, wait, remove scar? You see that? There's no way you're gonna be able to make out that text. It says remove scar. Can you ever truly remove a scar? Okay, it's been removed. Nobody removed the scar, so it's still... I thought it would cycle at least through like 3 different burps. This is the same one burp. And the more you listen to it, it kind of doesn't even sound like a burp. Like, if you repainted this to be like, oh, this is a panther. If you hit the button, the panther roars. You could probably convince a child that's what it is. I like that it has a clip, though, so I can keep that shit on me. I step out of my car. I was just caught speeding. The cop comes up to me and asks for my license, and then I go, I don't want any trouble. I immediately reach for my pocket as fast as possible, but I hit the burp button, and then I'm riddled with 15 bullets. But it will have been a life well lived. 3 plus. 3 plus what? Special message from BK. Make believe it, don't. Sonic faces off against the Black Knight. Is that what happens in the game? I always assumed Sonic was the Black Knight. Oh, this is the Black Knight. Okay. Make believe it, don't. Sonic's storybook series, which began with Sonic and the Secret Rings, continues as Sonic races into... Do Sonic fans like the storybook series? Because I was always the assumption that, like... we all were aware that they sucked. And this isn't me being like, oh, Sonic had a rough transition into 3D. I can understand the appeal of other 3D Sonic games, but what... if you give them an inch, they take a mile. It used to be like, okay, fine. Sonic Adventure 2 is good. Fine, you could have that. And then it's like, Unleashed is also good. Okay, you can have that one. 06 is also good. Fuck, dude, what are you talking about? Soon enough, every Sonic game is going to be good. At least to people on Twitter. I don't have Slime Me, and I don't have the slime whistle. As tempting as it is to put my mouth on these toys from 2009, I'd prefer not to. You know what, maybe I'll keep this part. His first sword-wielding adventure. I like that it implies that Sonic in the future will have more. Maybe they had higher hopes. Where did I just... oh, right. Well, I'm keeping that shit on me forever. I gotta stop opening them close to my chest. Hey, you jealous of this? I get a little alert on my phone. I'm like, oh, I gotta check something. Question. Do every single one of these have a special message from Sega? This one has stickers? Black and white stickers of a guitar. These are just slime. This says live. This is live, by the way. What you're watching right now, it was recorded live. That means it's technically live. Dude, Sonic faces off against the Black Knight in his first sword-wielding adventure? Make believe it, don't. So I have stickers. It's because this is the Kids Choice Awards 2009 autograph book. Okay, so the back is just blank, right? Nothing here. I'm about to do an illusion, right? You think it's blank? I'm gonna open up to the same page. Now there's text. Favorite TV actor, favorite TV actress, favorite TV show. They're all marked with the award. Is the idea that the kids who went to Burger King are also going to the Kids' Choice Awards and getting... are they allowed to go up to the stars and ask them to sign their Burger King book? Because some of these aren't people, they're just categories. Like, for example, favorite song. If you really wanted all the single ladies to sign your autograph book, all the single ladies will walk up and sign and say, all the single ladies. Or is this like a prediction book? Like, you write them down so that they're in place, and then you go to the local casino, and if you're wrong, they'll riddle you with 15 bullets. A 15-bullet salute. Was that 15 or was that 14? Let's start from the top. Yeah, collect autographs of your best friends and write down the 2009 Kid Choice Awards winners. Well, that's just fucking nothing. Slime and Stack. Listen, they call me Slime and Simon for a reason. Put a little squirt sound. Ugh, I don't like how that rips. All right, moment of truth. Are we 3 for 3? Make believe it, don't. I don't like this messaging. What am I sliming on? Comes with 6 glow-in-the-dark stickers? What? Such classic phrases like, get your slime on, slime me, slime power. That one feels racially charged. Slimy, slime time, and the Kids' Choice Awards 2009. I kind of like wearing the Slime Me one. A slimy and Slime Me combination. These are stickers? Surely they don't glow in the dark anymore, do they? It looks... I mean, it works on my camera. I gotta be real. IRL, I'm looking at them, they don't even glow, so maybe this is some kind of... They were ahead of the curve with their iPhone integration, because it looks like they're glowing here. Or they get some glow... Don't look at my toilet paper. I don't know what the stack is for, but I do much enjoy the stickers. Well, that's 3 things down. Let's work our way up in size, as I often do. This shirt's an antique now. I don't care about the toy. I'm more excited to see... Oh, come on, come on. Make believe it, don't. Remove the battery tab from the back. But be careful not to remove it quickly or else it will leak acid. Oh, okay. Well, that's a problem. Look into the mirror and see an image of yourself. Press the button on the side of the mirror to see your reflection get slimed. I don't know if I want to see that. Because you know what you look like. You could see yourself in the mirror. You could see yourself on your phone. But do you know what you look like slimed? Are you ready to witness that? Is the average person. I'm about to look into the face of God and smile back. This mirror is really close. And it's like a funhouse mirror. There's no... Couldn't help but notice. Yeah, you see, I couldn't help but notice there's no slime. You can very faintly see... You might not even be able to see it. There's like a quick flash of light. The light reflection doesn't help. What the fuck am I looking? Oh, that's my chair. You could see so it's not even real slime. I was actually kind of worried that this was gonna be full of like icky paint light goop from the year 2009, and I was worried about even opening it. But I could put it in my belt loop next to my self-defense PDA. What do you think? I'm all decked out. It really goes to show that the autograph book was the lamest one. What do you think? I'm excited to see. No way. Dude, Sonic faces off against the Black Knight. Make believe I'm so. Speaking of the mouthpiece to create an echo effect. Oh, this is perfect. Make believe I'm so. That's not even... Hello? Hello? I shouldn't put my mouth on this. Make believe it's all. It's me, Sonic and the Black Knight. It doesn't really feel... I mean, it's kind of echoing. It might just be generally echoey in here. The air conditioner just turned on, so you're definitely going to be able to hear that. This is objectively the worst place in this house to be recording, and yet I set it up here years ago and never left. There's a boiler to the left of me and an air conditioner to the right. This entire room shakes. Somebody got red face paint all over the lip parts. It's like when you share a drink with your grandma and she gets fucking lipstick all over it. What was that P. Diddy quote? Or was that was R. Kelly, my mistake. Yeah, sorry, I've been putting my entire mouth over this thing. Make believe it. Camera's gonna run out, so I'm gonna be quick with it. Clock's ticking, 30 seconds. Can I do a review in that amount of time? Show me Sonic and the Black Knight. Moment of truth. It is a kaleidoscope. Still. The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2010 held out of the Poly Pavilion, clap, on March 27, 2010. I'm starting to remember why I didn't want to make a sequel video. This event, like the previous, is mostly lost, and I use the term mostly to mean like 80 to 90%. And what's ironic about that is that despite this being the toughest to find, I could only find archived orange carpet footage. This is surprisingly one of the few events that most people have actually seen something from. And I don't mean because it was hosted by Kevin James on his Segway. After Paul Blart came out, he wasn't allowed to be a person anymore. He just had to play that character forever. Wouldn't have happened if he stuck by Otis. That's all I'll say. No, most people have seen it, including you, because this is the event where they tried to assassinate Katy Perry by shotgunning slime directly into her skull. Ironically, this is the most viewed Kids' Choice Awards clip, and it is also the only clip of the event I could find. Well, that's not entirely true. I did stumble across footage of both Selena Gomez and Dylan Sprouse winning their blimps. Just Dylan Sprouse. There's a lot of Justin Bieber at this event, both on the carpet and at the show. As a kid, I could never really separate celebrities from the characters they played, so I was never one to pair Bieber and Selena together. However, I did see one episode one time where Sweet Life and Wizards crossed over and wanted to see these two together bad. By the way, this is the clip they use, excuse the quality, to show off Dylan Sprouse's acting ability.
You are aware that we kids have appropriated the phrase goon and turned it into a positive? As in, well, what up, my goon? Or that collar is totally tuned out.
The future is paved with shadows. They have the gall to play an ad for Heart Gold and Soul Silver and not include the award winner. Crazy that in the future, out of these two, Selena was the one to be in an Oscar-winning movie. but it shouldn't have. I haven't even seen Aftermath, but I know it had to be better than this. Every month, I stand more and more vindicated that I made that video. Other than the attempted assassination, the show's lasting legacy is that the entire thing was built around the world premiere of new teen sitcom Victorious. The Carly cast are about to be usurped.
Where are the parents, man? Where are the parents? We don't talk about it. Dad's in the military. Mom, I don't know. Shopping.
And now we'll never know. Maybe the event was lost because it contained Miranda Cosgrove performing her new single, Kissing You. That's not even me being mean. I love her music. She does not.
Oh, this was a jam.
The event was preceded by the non-stop Kids Choice Weekend, which was a series of interviews and behind-the-scenes looks of Victorious days before the Kids Choice event. Also, we see Big Time Rush confirm that the blimp is still, in fact, a kaleidoscope, another win for facts and logic. It's almost as if the award ceremony itself didn't matter. It's fully heliocentric around this new show. We see cast interviews, Victoria Justice attempts to describe the show in the most normal way possible, all while absolutely blowing my mind. I don't know why I never assumed these sets were connected. I mean, that's what a multicam sitcom is. But she walks right from the Hollywood Arts hallway to the Vega house. Well, this is definitely a spoiler for the pilot. Apparently, the cast of the upcoming show are performing rivaling dance numbers for the event itself, which is where we see Ariana Grande partaking in a Bollywood-inspired number. This is normally the part of the video where I would make the she's collecting cultures like Pokemon cards joke, but I value my internal organs. They keep describing the special can't-miss event after the Kids' Choice Awards as a sneak peek, but this is just the pilot. That being said, as you may know, pilot episodes are shot in order to pitch a series to a network. How did you get to be such a good pilot? So on and so forth. It was filmed in advance, and because of which the pilot is very, very different. But it's also like two short episodes jammed together. The opening half feels very iCarly light and a lot more simple, including major characters like Andre and Tori and Trina. I know I'm not the only person who's ever made this observation, but these two have the most chemistry out of the rotating cast, and they never do anything with it. The second half is more reminiscent of Victorious, only with some major differences, like the presence of a normal-shaped phone and an abnormally shaped puppet. And this character, Eli, who apparently is one of the regular background characters who never says anything in class, and in any other episode, he would never be given a name, but he's here in one of the hardest to watch scenes. I wonder what his story is. What happened to Eli? I believe I've said this before, but I watched a ton of The Amanda Show in 6th grade, like non-stop, dedicated to memory. But this event and the pilot premiere actually took place before then. Sorry to make you feel old, but I fully forgot it. But Kat Valentine's characterization in this pilot and a lot of the early season was just straight up a character from the teen drama spoof on The Amanda Show titled Moody's Point.
What's that supposed to mean? That's not my husband.
Oops.
My name's Kat. Like the animal. What's that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean? You gave me a baboon heart? You're so hurtful. When my parents find out about this, they are going to be so angry.
This was before they gave her a lobotomy and dressed her like a toddler. Also, I think you need to get over Tori and Beck kissing in the improv scene. This is just what theater kids are like. That was Victorious. Like, I know I've spent more time talking about the show Victorious than the actual award ceremony, but what do you want me to say? You want me to talk about the orange carpet?
Doing The Last Airbender now?
Yeah, I'm doing The Last Airbender and Twilight. Got them both coming out in July, so it's going to be a pretty crazy little summer for me.
Is this what you wanted? Meanwhile, Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith are here to promote the new Karate Kid remake. I actually saw this film in theaters when it dropped, and prior to this year, it was the only Karate Kid film I had seen. As I'm recording this, I'm actually making my way through all the Karate Kid films in preparation for the new movie, as I am also doing with Final Destination and Jurassic Park, and Mission Impossible. Again, I did it 2 years ago, but I already forgot everything that happened in those movies. This video actually might come out the same weekend of that movie, although this is not a sponsored video. It'd be a really roundabout way to bring up that movie. So the original Karate Kid is a story of an inner city kid in New York whose mom is like, you know what, we need a change of scenery, so they move to California, and it's a huge shakeup for him, but it's reasonable that he would move from New York to California, right? It's like, oh man, I gotta learn how things work around here. The remake, they live in Detroit, and the mom's like, okay, we need to mix this up, and they move to China,
It's so funny, dude.
What does the
one
mom
thing
canonically do for work?
And she doesn't
The one
speak
thing I remember
Chinese.
from that
Nobody in
movie-
China speaks Chinese. They all speak English.
The one thing I remember
yeah.
from that movie is Jaden Smith watching SpongeBob in Chinese.
That rules.
That's the one thing
and
I
then
remember.
they try and it is a remake, but it's a different story because the kid does kung fu, not karate, and Jackie Chan is not Mr. Miyagi. I love when legacy sequels do this, where instead of doing a direct remake, they just imply that this very mundane thing happens every generation. That happened with the Paramount Heather show, where they're like, yeah, this school exploding actually happens every 10 years, and it's the same people every time. But
that's very funny.
The Karate Kid 2010, the original Karate Kid, the training montage is obviously like, oh, wax on, wax off, paint fence, paint defense, and doing all these manual labor tasks that teach him how to be good at karate. And in the Karate Kid 2010, the one thing he does is wear his jacket, remove the jacket, put it on the floor, pick it up, and hang it on the fence.
Right.
But instead of saying wax on, wax off, which is like an iconic movie line, Jackie Chan is standing in front of Jaden Smith and he says, jacket on, jacket off, jacket on, jacket off. I'm like, what am I watching, man? What is this? I don't think the remake is very good. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. But if they are meant to be the same characters, I think it actually makes more sense to cast a black kid as Daniel-san, because when you watch the movies, it reads like that. All of these rich, blonde California beach kids bully this new inner city kid for being a brunette. This is as dark as you could be in the 80s before people would get scared. And then the second movie, he stands out way more. Look at that one image of the big white dude in the Matsuki. Anyway, Fred is here, backstage, presenting an award to one SpongeBob SquarePants, who no-showed this event. What a diva. I'm a little torn because on one hand, I have a very specific memory of catching the Victorious premiere over at my one friend's house. Bring up the Crash Bandicoot. It was during a March Madness party, as all of my Nickelodeon stories seem to be. But I also remember being at another family's house, the Gummy Bear household. Something you gotta know about me, instead of being raised in one household with my sisters, which I sort of was, I was actually raised in a rotation of 6 different families in our one big family commune, and all the kids sort of raised each other. I remember seeing Fred on the television while having my legs crossed on the hardwood floor with a tent around me, and I was transfixed. This was after he had appeared on iCarly, but before he got his own movie, and way before he got his own show. But I don't think that's true, because I'm pretty sure I remember that night being a party for one of my non-relation blood brothers' birthday, which fell on April 1st, which was the following weekend. So if you wanted to have a birthday on a weekend, why would you do the weekend before when you could just do that weekend? I understand pushing back a kid's birthday to the weekend, but it was already the weekend in 2010. Evidently, none of this matters because it isn't Victorious. And Lucas Cruikshank, out of character, does make an appearance on the orange carpet and talk YouTube.
Last year, YouTube Live, where I got to meet a lot of those people like Nick Giga and Shane Dawson.
Well, that's upsetting. There's a possibility that this is the first time I heard Shane's name. I was actually a fan when I was younger. A lot younger. I didn't know, okay? I was a baby. As the event itself ends with Justin Bieber sitting backstage with upcoming superstar Victoria Justice to transition into the show made as a vehicle for her. Victorious, which ended with a commercial letting the rabid fans know that the series would return in full swing with weekly new episodes in a number of weeks on April 11th, 2010. Man, did the awards even actually happen? Or was this whole thing an elaborate Victorious scheme? What a tumultuous opening to this video. But at the very least, the Kids Choice Awards 2011 is sitting in a playlist on YouTube right now. Should probably download it before something happens to it. Real quick before I move on, Taylor Lautner and Kristen Stewart win Best Couple over Barack and Michelle Obama.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Jack Black Eyed Peas!
The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2011, this time held out of the University of Southern California, aired on April 2nd, 2011. This is more my speed. Worth noting that 2 months before, the Cartoon Network would hold its first live-action award show in the Hall of Game Awards, hosted by Tony Hawk this year. This is all I have to say about the Hall of Game Awards. This show, the Kids Choice Awards, begins with a triumphant returning host, Jack Black, stuck in traffic with his monster truck. But then he realizes that he's in a monster truck and flattens several limos, likely injuring or maiming some of the Kids Choice Awards' biggest guests, like Russell Brand, or Nick Cannon, or Johnny Depp. God, I hope so.
The Super Cyclone Monster Truck World Record Slime Jump, hosted by The Big Show.
The what was hosted by who? Yeah, that'll scare John Cena and The Rock off. Get your rocks off. But before that can happen, we get an opening number. Really makes you think why they would ever get anyone else to ever host the show. Kevin James couldn't do this number, this choreography. That orange carpet can't be comfortable. He is the new forever host, like if Rosie O'Donnell took the substance and transitioned. Wait a minute, what is this slime made of? Is that how they keep their youthful exuberance? He's performing several songs by the biggest band of the previous year 2010, the Black Eyed Peas, which transitions into the real band performing on stage as Jack Black dances along. And obviously they don't play that song. You know, that song, their most popular song at the time. The one that's playing in your head right now. Then when the real presentation starts, the disembodied voice of Tom Kenny beckons Jack Black to the stage, introducing him as from the upcoming Kung Fu Panda 2. None of these kids knew it yet, but cinema was about to be changed forever. They also probably assumed that they'd be slimed immediately, but in a nice little fake out, Jack Black actually shoots the gun that lowers the quality. Lowers it even more. The best version I could find was 360p. It's either this or nothing. First presenters, Miranda Cosgrove and Steven Tyler, both platinum album sellers, in my eyes at the very least. The award for favorite movie actor? We're starting with this? And Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter from the live-action Alice in Wonderland beats out other classic films like The Karate Kid 2010, Gulliver's Travels, and The Tooth Fairy. You may think that kids' films seem really bleak at the time, but remember, animated films have their own category. After the first commercial break of many, we see another presentation from Glee and the star of Nickelodeon's new biggest show, debuting after last year's event. Of course, the inevitable Victoria Justice.
And your favorite female athlete is...
Who is this? Who is she? Is showing my gamer card here. I have to show it every time I enter a GameStop or else they'll try and sell me Funko Pops. I only know because I played the shit out of the Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games. For the DS. I was probably playing it right now. Live action star of Kung Fu Panda 2, Jack Black, has a little moment of interest with the cartoon star of Kung Fu Panda 2, Po. Watching cartoon Po right now.
Can't swing a noodle without hitting a celebrity. I even got to meet Willow Smith. I'm whipping my fur back and forth. I whip my fur back and forth. Whoa. Po, you okay? Fine. Just a slight wardrobe malfunction. I feel a breeze.
I was gonna make a joke at Russell Brand's expense, but the kids immediately start throwing slime at him, and the disembodied voice introduces him as star of Arthur and Hop. I feel like that's a fitting enough punishment. Oh, finally! The award for Best Animated Voice Performance.
Tim Allen, Toy Story 3.
No fucking way. Dude, he's running against Tom Hanks for the same movie. No way is he winning this. And the only other nominees are also from the same movie as each other. Did 2 animated films come out this year? Listen, I love Eddie Murphy as much as the next guy, and I love DreamWorks, well, work, but in no fucking world should they make that donkey movie. It's not gonna work. Randy Jackson from iCarly introduces the biggest boy band in the world. They're barely the biggest on this network. All 4 members of Big Time Rush perform their number, Boyfriend, as the camera only seems to focus on Kendall, my number 1 boy. I totally forgot that Snoop Dogg was a part of this song. I hate to say it, guys. Has anyone ever noticed that, this boy band seems a little manufactured? Yeah, as opposed to every other boy band that exists solely out of friendship and love. They slimed the shit out of this guy. But not our Big Time Rush, not our precious number 1 boys. Carlos literally wears a helmet for this exact occurrence, but sure. Jack Black dons a suit, subtly foreshadowing his role in the theatrical Goosebumps movie. And then they throw the lesser host, Kevin James, a bone in the Arm Fart Olympics to market his new upcoming film, The Zookeeper. Man, you sold out. It used to be about the art. Come on, Kevin, give us Paul Blart 3. The kids can go online and vote for their favorite fartist, or even text on their phones? What is the year 2011 coming to? Not to draw the battle lines, I was always a Big Time Rush kid, but you can't be saying shit to hype them up when the Joe Jonas is in the building. Alongside, I have to assume this is his sister. I assume everyone who stands in proximity to a Jonas is absorbed into their family. I was forced to have a crush on Kevin as a kid because my other sisters took precedent and they took all the good ones. I'm still bitter about it. Presenting the nominees for favorite movie. We're doing this now? By the way, I see what you're doing. These nominees have flavor text, automatopoeia, and descriptors bouncing around. They snuck in 100% fresh for the Karate Kid on the tomato meter. It's almost like they wanted Jaden to win.
Get that suit on, sailor. It's already been paid for.
Just want to say thank you to my parents for raising me. Jackie Chan.
I want to thank my dad, Jackie Chan, and my mom, Jackie Chan. When we return from another commercial.
Ow! No. Ooh. You got a little, something on your, yeah.
Seriously?
Sorry, Brittany. I can't take him anywhere.
Security?
I think maybe we should move on.
Watching Eating Po right now. Selena Gomez wins again. Take that, Victoria. 4 more years. 4 more years. She is somehow the worst one in this film. Let's throw it over to The Big Show, standing in front of Minecraft blocks. Even more foreshadowing for Jack Black's future filmography. I know The Big Show from growing up on WWE, and you may know him from hit film Waterboy, one of the first films to feature a trailer for The Phantom Menace video. But a lot of you are likely more familiar with his best friend, the Rizzler. A monster truck is going to ramp off a dirt half-pipe, jumping over a giant orange Nickelodeon blimp and into a shallow pit of slime. Is the Big Show participating, or is he just here? Because he canonically fought Hulk Hogan in a sumo monster truck fight before falling off the same building dozens of feet to the pavement, but then he came back fine later. I really miss being able to talk about wrestling. Blue and Jay from the animated film Rio present tertiary awards backstage. 1 award. Yeah, but it's better than nothing. Back to Angry Birds. Then we get a performance by the other Smith child. I know it's been said several times by people far more intelligent than I, but she is so young here. This is so much physical exertion and pressure. Can Jackie Chan adopt her too? Actually, I'm pretty sure Jackie Chan's own kids don't even like him.
Here from the upcoming movie, The Muppets, is Jason Segel, and from Glee, Jane Lynch.
This is a strong enough statement to kill at least 4 or 5 gay people. Sorry, favorite music group is a separate category from favorite artist, male or female? Yeah, sure, we have 2 teen heartthrob boy bands going head to head, but too bad.
Hanging out in the studio with the Black Eyed Peas as they record their brand new hit song. Let's listen.
This is only a year before they performed at the Super Bowl, which I do remember. I actually remember this event too, solely because of the BEP performing, the Black Eyed Peas. Oh, that's what fans of the Black Eyed Peas call them. You're not a real BEP fan. The winner of the Arm Fart online poll sits atop the Arm Fart throne, rigged to dump acidic fluid on any combatant not deemed worthy. Watching Slime Po right now. Shaun White and Keke Palmer? Forget the gays, this is made for me. We live in a world where Selena Gomez was in an Oscar-winning film, and Keke was not. I'm probably gonna have to talk about Jackson VP at some point, right? Like, at least before anyone else does. I feel the most strongly about it. Is that Kyle Gass? Oh, my mistake. That's Miley Cyrus. Rico Rodriguez gives a personal standing ovation for the Queen of Country, and she walks on stage in a decadent dress, confirming that she will definitely not get slimed.
Now, I told you before that I was going to ratchet up even more, and here's how. While you were away, I had the blimp turn 90 degrees.
You fool! You've killed us all! Nobody can jump that distance! Except this monster truck does, and then somehow dries off and does it again? But this time slower? How'd they do this? POV, I am putting you in the green. The Big Show tosses his microphone to go and frolic with the children in the slime, but the camera cuts before we see any of this. Instead, we have to watch dumb shit like the Big Help Award, awarded to those of us who assist in charities, infrastructure, and
Justin Timberlake!
And being in Trolls, I guess. I know it's been a full hour, but this show went by remarkably fast. Not that it didn't have iconic moments like the Big Show overcoming his fear of monster trucks. Next year, he'll have to get over regular trucks. Oh, you know, because the WWE's Big Boss Man rode up to his father's funeral and stole the coffin. I miss talking about wrestling. Where is the Macho Man when we need him most?
Probably seen some news on the TV about things going on in the world, like what happened in Japan.
What happened in Japan? Everybody stand up, and if we all scream enough, maybe we can lend all of our power and energy to Japan. Chant, children! And after the celebration of charity, the Kardashians. But what is the favorite TV show to the Nickelodeon faithful? Will it be the hottest boy band in the world, Big Time Rush? The entirety of the internet condensed into one show, iCarly? Or like Wizards or Sweet Life? Yeah, right. Is that Pete Davidson?
iCarly!
I would like to thank the Weird Mime and also Jackie Chan.
Dan Schneider, you rock, our cast and our crew and our writers. Mama, you're my hero. I love you so much.
Well, I'm finished with this fucking show. Or I would be if Jim Carrey didn't come down from the heavens to greet us, as we get to see Dr. Eggman and Bowser sharing the stage together. Another glimpse into Jack Black's future filmography. Also, I told you the Winter Olympics would be important. They both use their telekinetic powers to shoot slime at one another, ensuring that this green goo conflict will extend way past our children, but also our children's children. When will the conflict end? The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2011 was actually followed up by the season 2 premiere of Victorious, making this show the only show in all of Nickelodeon's hierarchy, lineage, timeline to have a new premiere featured after the Kids Choice Awards event in that premiere slot 2 years in a row. The show only has 3 seasons, and season 3 barely even counts anyway, since it was commissioned initially as season 2. So this show is the Kids Choice Awards. Season 2 premiere of Victorious is season 2 episode 9. Wait a minute. Begging on Your Knees, which is really just a pretty basic episode of Victorious, but the ending features a new song from the star of the show, Victoria Justice, which makes it event television. And here we get to see the stark differences between even one season, 1 year of time. Trina is far more cruel and obnoxious. Kat moves like a startled deer, and her plotline fades into a running gag. And that's just what happens when you add a new character for this episode. I would like to formally apologize to Eli fans. Eli will not be returning for this event episode. Good night, sweet prince. No, it's Leather Jacket Guy who pretends to date Tori, but is only using her to get a good grade on their live performance as a part of the Full Moon Jam.
It can be a solo, or you can pair up with someone in this class and sing a duet. But just solos and duets.
What about us?
No!
I know this is a performing arts school, but how are you meant to get through all these performances? And I know the big climax is Tori making a full song behind his back to expose him, but like, what if he still gets credit? You just did the entire group project for him. Don't let my jokes deceive you. When I saw this at the ripe age of 10, I thought it was the coolest shit ever. Tori Vega's so freaking cool. The last 2 Kids Choice Awards events were basically built around Victoria, season 1 and 2, but moving into the next event, we're also moving into the next era, which is fully, for the most part, intact.
All right, the KCAs are finally here. Hey, look, I can't wait to get down there and make this the best show ever.
Before we can get into the Kids Choice Awards 2012 event out of the Galen Center on March 31st, 2012, like most events in this series, this show follows up afterwards with a premiere. Sort of. I mean, it was a new premiere, as in a new episode, but it wasn't a season premiere or a season finale, just a new episode of popular Nickelodeon show based on the novel series How to Rock. It's episode 9, weirdly like the previous Victorious season, but here it's airing, felt almost like it was a coincidence. It was already airing new episodes every week prior to this. It sort of just fell in my lap. I know 9 weeks is a lot, but if they really wanted to, they could have just held off that amount of time and then premiered the show following this event. Maybe it'll get more eyes on this, but prior to this video, I had never actually heard of this show. The day leading up to it actually featured several premieres, the new episodes, the likes of, and what's interesting is that the Fred TV show would air 2 new episodes after only debuting like a month prior. I guess I should give a Hall of Game update. This event, hosted by Shaquille O'Neal, is actually on YouTube in its entirety. But that's okay. I don't want to watch this.
Here's a clue about our next category. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Just give me the clue, dude.
Okay, here I go. Bam!
Dude, are you telling me there's a robot at this thing? Robots are awesome.
No, dude. Dance machine, baby. And here to present it, one of the stars of iCarly, Nathan Kress.
What I wanted to say is the Fred show really only exists for Kevin and Fred shippers, which I found myself falling in that boat as a kid, and this new episode is the one where Fred has to become Kevin's assistant. This shit means something to me, man. Do you know how many edits I get on my TikTok on a daily basis? The Kids Choice Award 2012 begins as a man who was definitely Will Smith parachutes orangely from an actual Nickelodeon blimp to the roof of the building. Is this why they're holding it at the Galen Center? Some creepy disembodied voice, not to be confused with the morally gray disembodied voice, has planted a bomb in the building and shut the lights off. So our hero, famous YouTuber and Oscar winner Will Smith, demands the children throw up their glow sticks to light the way to this explosive. As long as the glow sticks themselves don't explode.
Jesus, are you kidding me? God damn it, Jack. Come here. I have no clue what to do with this. Did it hook me to my eyes? I gotta see what to do, ding-a-ling.
And then, well... oh my God. Can the Hall of Game Awards not have anything? Is nothing sacred? If this event already seemed very 2012, this tie-in opening is heavily leaning towards new release of Men in Black 3 later this year, the first and only Men in Black film I saw in theaters, until the release of that weird reboot one that made all of the employees of the movie theater have to wear embarrassing alien ears, which wouldn't have bothered me as much at the time if at work I didn't already hate everything or everyone. Again, I was a teenager working retail. I think if you go into any restaurant, any convenience store, anything like that, and the person behind the stand looks miserable, your first thought should not be, what a miserable person. Your first thought should be, oh yeah, no, work, I get it. I like that every year there's a different combination of the Modern Family cast, but never the same ones. They can't be in the same room as each other. That one guy's too busy playing Santa a dozen times.
No one else crowns the naughtiest noob or sickest showdown because no other sports award show lets you guys help decide the winners.
I sort of remember this event. I remember really wanting to watch it, but ultimately I can't remember if I did actually watch it, and I don't remember why I wanted to. The Big Show? Santino Marella? The Miz? Okay, now I remember why. I'm not allowed to talk about the WWE TV show anymore, which means the only way I can express my wrestling fandom is to talk about shows that wrestlers appeared on that may or may not be related. Will Smith is thrown into a paranoid stupor as he knows the creepy evil voice is a fellow celebrity, but he hasn't deduced which one yet.
We got Chris Rock in the house. Chris Rock in the house tonight. What's up, Chris? You know. You heard about the creepy voice, right, Chris? You heard about the creepy voice? Yeah. Okay. So I just want you to not got my eyes on you, all right?
Resulting in his good friend and Razzie winner Halle Berry. I did say we're entering a new era. Everything has shifted. Not only does the quality look better, and now we have Will Smith instead of Jack Black, but also the previous batch of years were dominated by the Twilight Saga, but now the children have something new and juicy to sink their teeth into. Also, Nicki Minaj exists now.
The last time I was in an arena full of kids, they were all trying to kill me.
Last time I was in a pizza restaurant with animatronics, it did not go so well. Big Time Rush gets their revenge by winning the Best Music Group spot back from the Black Eyed Peas. In 2012, maybe better than the Black Eyed Peas, but definitely not better than LMFAO. In 2012? A lot of the time, Nickelodeon stars have to feign honor for an award that actually means nothing in the grand scheme, but the way they talk about it, I could tell that the 4 BTR boys are legitimately honored. Finally put a stake through the heart of the Black Eyed Peas. In the past, award shows have been criticized for pushing multiple awards off into the commercials and trying to speed through them as quickly as possible without any pomp or circumstance.
Your favorite reality show is Wipeout.
Your favorite TV actor is Jake Short.
This is legitimately a speed run, but I'm glad the cast of Victorious is here in another symbiotic relationship. The entire cast of Victorious. Backstage, Will Smith was bitten by a radioactive spider. We hear no more about this. Hey look, it's Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone! They have a lot of chemistry. Really the only good part of this segment, and evidently their Spider-Man movie. Adam Sandler in his greenest jacket, can you chroma key that out? Thank you. Wins the award for Best Actor over Daniel Radcliffe, Jim Carrey, the rest, all for his 2012 pastiche avant-garde indie flick Jack and Jill. They do show Dunkachino in the demo reel. This is actually my first time seeing any other scene from this film, if you want to call it that. They genuinely built a ring. Okay, so the reason this is happening at the Kids Choice Awards is actually a piece of cross-marketing, because a few days after this, they would host WrestleMania 28 in Miami, Florida. You remember when CM Punk didn't get the main event because The Rock and John Cena had to fight instead? I just thought you should remember that. I mean, The Miz, Santino, and The Big Show were also there, just in an overblown multi-man match.
These ropes and these corner buckles have been rigged to these slime cannons. So anytime one of our WWE superstars hits them, the slime is gonna be flying everywhere.
Have we forgotten how big The Big Show in fact is? Because if this ring isn't stable, the whole show is coming down. Please, 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 I have never cared about anything lost or found before. Somebody somewhere in the Paramount Vault has this Slime Championship Wrestling belt. I need this thing. More than anyone has ever needed anything. We've come a long way from the replica toy belt in 240p. The best female actress, is that CeeLo Green? Selena wins again.
Selena Gomez also wins the award for Favorite Female Singer.
Just if you were curious, she was also up against Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, and Taylor Swift. That's awesome. And backstage, the exploding blimp is passed to the stars of the aforementioned Fred the Show. Not all the stars, but I don't blame Kevin's actor for not wanting to be here anymore. Awarding to both SpongeBob SquarePants and Tim Tebow. No way of knowing what category they were nominated for, but... Okay, so apparently Big Time Rush are actively filming a music video that will premiere after the new episode of How to Rock. So I was wrong before. There are actually multiple premieres following this event, although this is a part of it. Will Smith continues to spiral, attempting to track down that scary, disembodied, terroristic voice. Okay, so Victoria Justice is in fact there. Just not backstage. If I was Katy Perry, I would never fucking step foot in these halls again. She does get awarded the Orange Blimp Kaleidoscope for the favorite voice performance for the animated film Smurfs. If you want to call it that, it's only gonna get worse. As the exploding blimp bomb, no doubt planted by the creepy disembodied voice, is tossed to the cast members of Big Time Rush that are not the group Big Time Rush. Speaking of disembodied voices.
Here are stars Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith!
No fucking shot. I have the opportunity to make the joke that will define my career, but no. No, I must express patience. I must hold myself. A clown gets up on stage and makes the entire front row uncomfortable by fucking up the vibe. And so on. The favorite movie actress is...
Kristen Stewart!
I'm sure she greatly appreciates all of that. We keep cutting back to Victoria. Is she the evil disembodied voice? Kristen Stewart says she loves Nickelodeon shows like Doug and Rocko's Modern Life, a show no longer owned by Nick and a show no longer on the network. Listen, I love cartoons and also I love Kristen Stewart, but the average age of that crowd has to be like 8 or 9. And from what I know about our audience, I like to think Kristen Stewart would like me too. Or at the very least tolerate my existence. And now, Michelle Obama is here, likely to investigate the recent Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards Will Smith bomb scare. Mrs. Obama, get down! Don't open that box, they rigged it to shotgun! Let Katy Perry open it instead! Not to get political. I had always assumed that my Obama-era optimism was just nostalgia for being a kid. Because the political landscape when I was 11 never impacted me. Obama was just the better rapper in epic rap battles of history. But genuinely, maybe just that American propaganda, but as a kid, Obama was really cool. Like, that was the first time I knew a president's name. Unfortunately, it would not be the last. I know it's our responsibility to stay informed and care about those less advantaged and do everything in our power to boost those voices. But just for like a day, I'd like to not care. And don't tell me to touch grass. You know I can't. The Big Help Award this year goes to the woman who has assisted the planet the most this year. Singer-songwriter Taylor Swift. Oh, fuck off.
Slime Wrestling World Championship and our ring announcer, the WWE's United States Champion, Santino Morella!
Wait, why did Smith genuinely nail the Santino line? Does he watch the show? Or is Santino just a very blatant accent voice? Ultimately, this is for a gag, but I've never been able to show moving WWE footage on this YouTube show before and I am relishing in it.
Not only am I the special guest announcer, but guess what? I'm also the special guest referee!
Wow. Also, very clearly pumped in crowd noise, cutting to kids clapping from before.
Exactly, no pop.
How many of these kids are WWE fans? And how many of them are extras? Sick Wrestling Society X reference. It's the cast of Super Ninjas. It feels wrong to even say the title. An award-worthy movie star walks out on stage next to Zac Efron. The favorite TV show race has never been closer. Victorious, Wizards of Waverly Place, Good Luck Charlie, iCarly. Everyone in the theater seems to think Victorious got the win due to Zac Efron wearing his iconic Victorious logo shirt. But this is actually a famous mistake you may have heard of. Yeah, actually, iCarly was supposed to win. They were supposed to pull the sword out of the other end of the swallower. Efron just happened to be wearing his favorite shirt that night. And next, out come two actors, who no matter what they do, will be forced to play characters in the same universe until the day they retire or die. I know there's no way that WWE superstar Kelly Kelly wins the favorite butt kicker award, especially not over Tom Cruise, I guess, but a kid can dream.
Taylor Lautner.
This dude is so funny consistently, and he doesn't even know. He's not even trying. Please put him in more things. Taylor then bows to Robert Downey Jr., who he claims will likely hold the award next year after Iron Man 3. The first superhero movie I saw in theaters, unless you count Bolt. But I wouldn't. Do you remember in all those expose documentaries when there was a random website that had an anonymous celebrity who's very high up in Hollywood trying to expose abusers over on Nickelodeon, again anonymously, and everyone assumed it was Robert Downey Jr. because he stood next to Miranda Cosgrove at the Kids Choice Awards? I'm not saying that abuse didn't happen. It likely did. I'm just questioning why everyone assumed it was Robert. My point being, fuck it. Put Taylor Lautner in the MCU. Make him Wolverine. Who cares anymore? Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Speaking of stickiness, we have like 20 minutes left in this event and still several questions left unanswered. However, we need to make more time for Taylor to take his shirt off.
Coming at ya! It's the exploding blimp.
I don't want it.
Time to announce another one of tonight's winners.
Your favorite video game is Just Dance 3.
And what was it up against? Well, none other than classic games like Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga and Super Mario Galaxy, the game that came out in 2007. Do you think they meant 2? Did they forget about Super Mario Galaxy 2? Did Nintendo forget about Super Mario Galaxy 2? That clip is the extent of my knowledge on how to rock. For now. Sorry for edging the punchline. The stickiness I was referring to is whatever Will Smith just did to Taylor Lautner. We throw it back to the host of Brain Surge commentating over the Slime Championship Wrestling match happening in the rigged ring. And I do mean rigged. Every time someone hits the ropes, slime fires into the crowd of children. Every time someone hits a corner, slime fires into the crowd of children. Every time someone is slammed into the mat, we sit somberly and consider how our actions affect others.
Hey kids, don't try this at home.
It's way too late for that. I've already put my neighbor through a glass table. In the span of like 10 seconds, The Miz is tossed into a big pool of slime, never to be seen again. As the Big Show's wrestling theme plays, he holds up the most prestigious belt he's ever won, and then gets congealed slime shot directly into his fucking mouth. This is somehow not even the most embarrassing thing to happen to the Big Show on television. It's not even close. And then the roof is blown off. Will Smith brings out international boy band Baby-Faced One Direction. I know Big Time Rush gotta be fuming backstage. They finally won. They finally dethroned the Black Eyed Peas. You see what happens when Jack Black isn't around? Celebrity, thing you know, person you know. Gibby fucking explodes and he is canonically made of slime. It's in his blood! Will Smith's paranoia is bleeding into his family life. That one doesn't even feel like a joke. It all comes to a head as he takes to the stage to call out the voice one final time. And in turn, the creepy Men in Black voice who targeted the presidential family and the cast of Smurfs 2 is revealed to be...
Oh, damn!
And that was the last Kids Choice Award event I have actually found, at least for a while. But don't worry, it gets worse. This would normally be the segment of the video where I talk about the after party. And I did find the Big Time Rush music video for the song Time of Our Life that was filmed at the Kids Choice Awards as rowdy kids circle them and they all look really concerned for their safety. Their own safety, not the kids. I don't even blame them. All those kids are hopped up on popcorn and slime. They'll go right for the jugular. In an unlisted video on the official Big Time Rush YouTube channel that I found through a link of a different website. Because of which the music video is preserved in fantastic 4:3 aspect ratio. And I know this doesn't actually change the quality of the music video, but on top of it being filmed on a handheld camera, it adds to the style of the time. If somebody uploaded a music video it's filmed like this in a modern day, it would blow down all the trees in my neck of the woods. Speaking of shitty, I did not watch the 9th episode of How to Rock. I did find it, but only on Amazon, Fandango, Apple TV for $1 a pop. I care about the historical accuracy of this video, but I don't care that much. But that sets a nasty precedent because the Kids Choice Award 2013 held out of the Galen Center on March 23rd, 2013. That's like almost everything about it on the Wikipedia article. There are little bits and bobs I featured in greater videos because I know they're topics that interest me and I want to circle back to, or they're in fact videos I want to make in the future. Like how I'm pointing out now that Just Dance won the gaming award again over Skylanders Giants. They also gave a sport award to LeBron James, making him the first man to win both a Kids Choice Award and a Cartoon Network Hall of Game Award in the same year. Seems to be a lot missing from the Hall of Game 2013. Presenters in alphabetical order. Voices including Dane Bowenmeyer as the annoying orange. Anyway, I always joke that all these videos are an interconnected web, that I have like a cinematic universe planned out of fucking YouTube videos. But one major point of contention that has come up a lot in these more nostalgic memory-based videos, which makes sense. The past can't change. It already happened to me. But it reigns true. I don't know what I was doing in 2013, 2014, as I seem to not remember anything from these 2 years. At least when it comes to TV. I watched a lot of films in theaters. I was the only one with a Wii U and I got made fun of for it. Every channel of the main 3 kids networks around the same time all have a distinct point in time that I can mark where I stopped watching. Very distinct eras. I can pinpoint an exact moment or block or event where I just gave up, where my memories screeched to a halt. For Nickelodeon, it was probably a bunch of live action sitcoms ending at the same time. For Cartoon Network, it was the episode Breezy. And for the Disney Channel, the winner for favorite male TV star is Ross Lynch. If you want to talk about shows we all grew up with, you want to talk about Hannah Montana, I fuck with it. You want to talk about Sweet Life, I fuck with it. I watched it. I watched Wizards, Good Luck Charlie. I was there for Shake It Up. But the second you mention Austin and Ally, we're done talking. It's in one ear, out the other. We have nothing left to say to each other. These characters mean nothing to me. This was the point when I stopped watching. Obviously, when it came to cartoons, I would still circle back to watch them. Gravity Falls got a huge boost in its second season. Obviously, I got really deep into Steven Universe. I wanted Harvey Beaks to succeed, but this was the first live-action kids sitcom on one of these networks where I was watching and I realized, man, I'm too old for this. Cartoons are dope as hell. Those can exist forever and you can watch them whenever you want. But if you're my big age and you're watching like Raven's Home by yourself for enjoyment, I have some questions. What I'm saying is I have no memory of this event, and evidently neither does the internet. Most of the footage I found are like 3 different uploads with different titles that are all the opening of this event. Also, this clip of Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy presenting the award to favorite female TV actress Selena Gomez. Tragic. I have no clue who this host is beyond him being married to Fergie, making him an honorary black IP. This group is expanding every year. It's kind of like the NWO. You know, from wrestling. What the hell is The Miz still doing here? Man, go home. The news reports I saw for this event do keep referring to the host as from the Transformers movies, which is always a bad sign. Like, I know these 2 viral British girls, but I mainly just know them from Sam and Cat. Is there anything else worth mentioning?
Open grammar style.
It's playing Gangnam Style, if you couldn't tell by the dance. This surprisingly wasn't a Viacom block, but instead a music block. Alright, back to the video. Okay, moving on. While the show itself meant nothing to me and was mostly missing, it was followed up by the first episode premiere of the television adaptation of Monsters vs. Aliens, the TV show. following the Kids Choice Awards event in 2013. Don't cry, little viewer. Nickelodeon's got enough DreamWorks shows to feed you your entire life. We talked about the Penguins of Madagascar in the past, but I think the reason that works and other DreamWorks shows do not, at least the ones that are exclusively on Nickelodeon, is that that show focuses on side characters, and these try to continue on with the film cast, or rather, without the film's cast. Gillian Jacobs. I want you to know that I'm fighting every urge in my body to not play that clip right now. This barely applies to the Kung Fu Panda show because the guy they got sounds so much like Jack Black. And also, that theme song ruled. Monsters vs. Aliens has no sauce. You can expect CG animated shows to look worse than their film counterparts, but when it comes to animal characters, it's barely noticeable. Unless you're back at the barnyard! I have gone against my own wishes and promise. But when it comes to humans, the giant Susan looks like she just leapt out of Miraculous Ladybug. That is not a compliment. And she spends most of this episode shrunk down to monster size. Her one thing was being giant, and now she's just some lady. The plot follows the monsters at Area 50 whatever, who work for the president to take down alien threats. Thus, Monsters vs. Aliens. But that's the plot of the movie as well, which did take place in this series canon. So what, a different alien comes to Earth every episode and they need to fight it? Because this episode ends with the alien joining their ranks, and seems to end on a cliffhanger as well. I have no clue where this could even go. And now I don't need to. I'll never find out how the show ends or even continues. My contract only stipulates that I have to talk about the episodes that premiere after the Kids' Choice Awards and not the shows. That will come back. But for now, I do think I saw the film Monsters vs. Aliens in theaters. I do remember, at the very least, having the DVD, owning the DVD for this film, and bringing it into class one day and getting really sad during the wedding scene. I don't know if you guys ever had like a free day in grade school where they would allow kids to bring in their favorite movies from home and they would wheel out the TV and we could just plop DVDs in there. I had a pretty decent relationship with my 6th grade teacher who noticed that I was showing a lot of interest in reading the Spiderwick books because I never really shown interest in reading anything else. I liked writing way more, so she rewarded me by bringing in the Nickelodeon film, The Spiderwick Chronicles, to show it on the big TV. I hated that movie. But one day I brought in the live action Cat in the Hat movie, which I really loved as a kid. And she, as the teacher, asked me, is this movie appropriate? And I responded without missing a beat, yeah.
Dirty hoe. I'm sorry, baby. I love you.
My mistake. Sorry, 6th grade teacher. But ultimately, all I remember about Monsters vs. Aliens is that in 2009, they had a tie-in promotion with McDonald's to create Happy Meal toys. Why did I bring that up?
Monsters! Aliens! McDonald's! The heroic characters from the new DreamWorks movie, Monsters vs. Aliens, are out to save the world.
Excuse me, can I order a salad?
You can find one in your McDonald's Happy Meal.
Are you supposed to be a monster or an alien?
This one might take longer because we have more stuff to open. Is it important? Did we even talk about the Monsters vs. Aliens film? No, but the extent of my memories when it comes to what I'll say is that in the context of my stickers are falling off. Excuse me, this is embarrassing. This normally never happens to me. The extent of my memories, aside from the story I told when it comes to Monsters vs. Aliens, is owning at least, I believe, 3, maybe 4 of these Happy Meal toys. Let's start with the ones that I did not have. I didn't have the Insectosaurus, although it was my favorite character when I was a kid, because I didn't know who Will Arnett was yet. If I knew what he did to the Mighty Bee, I would not be pleased. Do you guys see that horse in The Last of Us that looks like Hitler? Nice argument, but I've already portrayed you as the screaming Insectosaurus and me as the Chad Finger. No, please. Finger was my father's name. Call me kid named Finger. So I didn't pull any tabs out of this, so I wonder if it still works. Oh. Oh, it's like one of fucking these. Oh, there's a code. Hey, if you want to unlock Insectosaurus in Happy Meal World, plug in the... Well, never mind. This one sucks. Let's do the robot toy. Isn't this the ship? Doesn't it have a name? His name is Robot Toy. Here's your freaky ass code. I was going to say, I'm glad I didn't have this one as a kid because I definitely would have put it on my pooper, but check this out. Okay, don't look at this yet. It blinks. It's alive. It can hear what I'm saying. How do I make it go? I'm pushing in the eye and he is not pleased about it. Like, there's gotta be an easier way. I feel like I'm breaking it. It's like when you hold, I probably made this analogy before. It's like, do you have to do your motorcycle shit now? Have your midlife crisis on your own time. Implying that what I'm having now is not, in fact, a midlife crisis. You don't know how long I'm gonna live. Okay. I just broke it. No, they're supposed to be loose. Alright, well, what a fun toy. Like, maybe they were going for the, I definitely broke this. The, like, Transformers concept. Like, oh, kids love Transformers. They love transforming their toys. But this doesn't feel fun to do. It also, like, can't... You can move its arms, right? Time to recreate Monsters vs. Aliens. Hello, Bugosaurus. What do you have to say? What do you want to say? That's cool. Now listen to this. I did not have the missing link to the past. Oh, it's Chet Cheddarman at happymeal.com. Forgot they had sorry. Okay, so you can twist the back, close the ice on him, and then he'll break out of the ice, like that of the missing link from the movie. I like that he does a jig. Commence the jiggling! How much time do I have to put the ice back on? It already, okay. Hold on. Okay, he's trapped in the ice. Finally, we've trapped the missing link. He didn't even, okay. Is that the breaking, or am I breaking it? Look at this smug ass. No wonder this is a DreamWorks movie. You know what? I watched the movie ahead of this because I thought it would have more references. I did actually like this movie. Like, it's not even nostalgia. There's really good bits in it. I hope it gets a Megamind-esque resurgence because although it doesn't have the same heart as Megamind, I do think it's a very funny animated film. Not even just for kids. I think I had this because I would chew on it. This one, his ship, though, Galahar's ship. Or rather, Vasseur de Galahar. Bouquet de Galazar. Oh, there's little fucking Googas in there. I'm glad this one's in a bag, just for... I broke it. This isn't nearly as exciting because Sonic and the Black Knight isn't on the... Oh, finally a toy that actually does shit. I need room. And I hit the top of this head, right? Do I have the right to hit the button? If you think about it, Monsters vs. Aliens, the movie, is about whether or not the president is in a proper state to be hitting the button that will affect billions of lives. And do I have the right to hit it? Sorry, let me grab this one. Oh, no, it's real. I promise I'm not bald. Sorry, excuse me. I know, sorry, I have a condition. Sorry. Out of all of the toys, this is the one I'm gonna get the most mileage out of. I postulated previously in a previous postulated pretty video that a lot of these McDonald's toys are simply just like adult fidget toys. So I'll be at my desk like, I'm gonna bug the shit out of my coworkers. Wow. If I had to rank these, I'd say this is the best one because this is the only one that is a toy. You are a toy. Well, of the ones I didn't own, I think. I remember this one. I remember chewing on this one a lot. It was 2009, so I was 8 years old, so I should not have been doing that. I'm glad he's got this little fucking Funko Pop plastic to keep him in place. Oh! Okay, I thought I was being weird for chewing on plastic, but no, I was correct. It's like a little... No wonder I chewed the shit out of this. I kind of want to chew it now. You know what? Now is a perfect opportunity to, like, actually... Wait, oh, it's supposed to light up? I don't want to break it. I'm gonna say I don't think it's gonna light up anymore. Do you want to indulge me for a second? Completely take over this video where I was talking about McDonald's toys or Happy Meal toys? I'm completely taking over this video now. I mean, it is my video. This is gonna collapse the table. Video games, tapes, DVDs, TV shows, movies, figures, cards, trading cards, all of those things that are very popular to collect. And I've often talked about those when it comes to, you know, nerd figures, nerd games, nerd movies. But what I haven't talked about is something that's kind of an unconventional collection that I have. This bin, just by the way, extends all the way down, crazy dense. I think now we call them like rubber toys or like fidget toys, but back in the day I called them sticky toys, and I've been collecting these since I was sentient. Every time I go out, whether it's at a gas station or on vacation or just a different state, and I see one of these sticky toys, I collect it, I buy it, and I put it in this bin. This is BH Ultra's 20-year sticky toy collection. Some of these are more new. These are new, right? I got these recently. This one is from, some of these are like melted together. And again, see all these? It extends all the way to the bottom. Do I really want to, it smells awful. I've never really given a sticky toy tour, but all of these characters have individual personalities. This was my favorite. This was my main guy. This little blue rabbit thing. Legitimately, I hope the green screen doesn't fuck with it. I mean, if you're seeing it down here, it won't anyway. There's so many, I have so many in here. These extend back to when I first started thinking thoughts. And now, guess what? He's going in here. If at any point you guys watch this video and you want a sticky toy tour, it'll be on the bonus channel. Let me know, but if nobody says anything, I've been collecting these my whole life. Also, you know, P.O. Box. Or if you see me at a convention, send me sticky toys you want me to have. There, now it's out there in the world. This is Professor Hugh Grant house. Here's your code. Real toy alert. I don't want to go back over and pick it up. Bob, B.O.B. The Flat Earther. This shit I definitely would have put on my ass. Is he supposed to have this fucking... I don't remember him having this weird-ass smile. You can't really make it out over the figure, but, like... It's unsettling. This is where I'm gonna hide the dinosaur DNA. Okay, that didn't... Okay, so that one I also need to go get. But it moves around. That one's more sentient. Now, this one, my favorite scene in the movie, the little car skates, Ginormica. She's got bendy legs. I think you're supposed to break her legs. All right, Miraculous Ladybug. It's not one of the pullback ones, but you pull this back, and then, hold on. You pull this back, hold on. So you pull it out, maybe? We can do the splits? No? I mean, you could just push her. Folks, this is me when I try and ice skate. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, something. Did it work? I think I fixed it. Alright guys, here's an unboxing. This is a tutorial on how you play with your Ginormica toy Happy Meal 2009. I just spit everywhere. Real talk. Mind if I take a load off here? I regret creating this character. I kind of don't want to do this again. The Kids Choice Awards 2014 is a strange case for several reasons. Oh, and it was held out of the Galen Center, again, on March 29th, 2014. Hosted by star of the Transformers movies, Mark Wahlberg. Man, you would think that Nickelodeon had a vested interest in this franchise. 2014's event marks the debut of the Lifetime Achievement Kids Choice Award, which has only been won by 2 people, and later in this video would be won by one Optimus Prime. The only other person to win it. The other person, however, the first person to win it in this 2014 event, lost to time. We may never know. But because we are not thoroughly in the internet social media age of these events, we find way more footage on the actual Nickelodeon YouTube channel. Like this vlog titled, Watch How Kira Kosiren Gets Ready for the Show. I hope I said that right.
I tell you, every year I recognize fewer and fewer names.
Lombard Montague, Grace McLady, Andy Colorado, the Mondo Twins,
simple stuff.
How do they make this slime this consistency? What is their secret? And why can't I crack the case? Leading up to the event, there were several adverts hyping up Mark Wahlberg as unslimable, while also hyping up the mystery of why the cast of Drake and Josh, iCarly, and Victorious were all attending. Who's to say? Former cast of these shows, as they had all ended by this point, but they all live on in simultaneous crossover show Sam and Cat. Here is footage found of Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy gifting an award to Selena Gomez. Again, that cannot feel any type of good. And the award for favorite KCA fan army went to the, quote, Selenators over the Arianators. I'd be pissed. They even sound the same. Again, crazy to think that they were both a part of the same Oscar ceremony this year. Stays the same. But hey, Sam and Cat won Best TV Show. Best live action TV show. You know SpongeBob had that animated shit on lock. An award for favorite animated animal sidekick goes to Patrick Starr over the likes of Perry the Platypus, Waddles the Pig, and Sparky the Dog. SpongeBob has a... Speaking of, this Kids' Choice Award event wasn't actually followed up by new premieres, but was instead led into by premieres. I mean, they did air a new episode of Instant Mom after the KCAs, but that was a part of Nick at Night. And also likely a coincidence. No, this year's Kids' Choice Award event was predated by a new SpongeBob episode starring Kenny the Cat and a new Sam and Cat special, #ISuperPsycho, which, regardless of all these child stars attending the event for a prestigious occasion, is likely the largest crossover of these characters at the time, doing their best to tie up loose ends from their respective shows. Crazy how out of these three shows, iCarly, Victorious, and Sam and Cat, iCarly was the only one to get a proper ending, but then they brought it back to get canceled prematurely, and it didn't get a proper... It got left on a cliffhanger. And before, obviously, I was a fan of Victorious, and I vaguely remember being a fan of Sam and Cat, maybe just as a continuation of the shows I liked as a kid, but I also really liked Silence of the Lambs at the time, so I appreciated the direct parody. But moving forward after this event, every subsequent year, talking about these live-action Nickelodeon sitcoms becomes, for me, not fun at all. I mean, Ross Lynch won an award again. This has to be a sign of the end times. Wrapping up our major plot lines, although we do not get to see the event in full, we could see snippets of Kevin Hart catching the unslimable with slime, and also they seem to have created the coolest stunt in history of this event in the slime rodeo, and I don't even get to see it. More awards were won. Robert Downey Jr. fulfilled the prophecy and set by one Taylor Lautner by claiming the throne as the best male butt kicker. Does that mean he's the best butt kicker who's a male, or the best at kicking male butts? Male butts. SpongeBob SquarePants may have won Best Cartoon over Adventure Time, but over at the Hall of Game Awards 2014, they would actually bother acknowledging what channel they're on by awarding Adventure Time as the most valuable cartoon. Take that, Steven Universe. Also, John Cena won an award there. The cycle begins anew. I'll never be able to escape professional wrestling, or the Nickelodeon video I made 2 years ago, or the Kids' Choice Award video I made last year, or this video. Hey look, it's the voice of Abby the cow from hit animated series Back at the Barnyard. I think ultimately I was born to do this. The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2015 held out of the Kia Forum, also known as the Los Angeles Forum, and also known as the Great Western Forum.
What's happening, Forum?
Hosted by Nick Jonas on March 28th, 2015. I know that there was an era where Nick Jonas was the most profitable and popular Jonas, but also, they definitely had him run this ship just because of his name. The marketing writes itself, although he is normally a Disney affiliate. While this event will be the first in years to not be hosted by an actor from the live-action Michael Bay Transformers movies, we do get a segment of Nick Jonas calling up his personal friend Will Arnett on his clearly fake phone screen to let him know that he was nominated for his film, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014. Don't freak out, it's just a mask. See? Which was going to be Michael Bay's next big live-action kids film saga. He evidently did not win the Kids' Choice Award and really harnessed his pain years down the line in his performance of BoJack. And while we're referencing much better shows, he also lost the favorite actor category to Ben Stiller, and this is around the time him and his ex-wife Amy Poehler were separating. And as we know, Amy Poehler would play the romantic lead alongside her contemporary in Parks of Rec. That's right, Adam Scott. I just wanted to reference Severance again, just to feel something. Also, it goes without saying, but the Mighty Bee was dead and buried by this point. Ross Lynch wins favorite actor, Laura Marano wins favorite actress, Austin Alley wins favorite kids show, I Look Down Upon a World I No Longer Recognize. Why do they even bother with an award for favorite adult show? Why is Gotham nominated? Circling back, Nick Jonas also got the unique privilege of revealing to the cast of Nicky, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn that they were also nominated. And unlike Arnett, you can tell that, one, they didn't already know that, and two, this actually does mean something to them, because they are literal children. I've never seen any of the Ickies, but I am one of a dozen people to watch the entirety of that 90s show on Netflix, and I know that one of the Ickies is in it. I just don't know which one. Throw up that little gay kid reading 1984. It's lasting legacy of this show. I'm gonna keep using this image for longer than that show existed. Selena Gomez won again? SpongeBob?
I want to see anything that involves SpongeBob.
Well, I got good news, kid. That clip was from a candid interview at the KCA Slime Experience, a spot where kids could line up to be trapped in glass tubes and doused in slime to their heart's content, stepping out and dripping all over the floor. I assume this would be held at the event the day of, but when the camera zooms out, it seems more like this was a random shopping mall. Imagine getting slimed this hard and then you have to sit in the back of your parents' car for maybe minutes all the way home. I could never have children. Not for any dislike of children, just I ingested way too much slime at this event when I was a kid, and now it just all comes out green. They also gave out I voted temporary tattoos to all the children who presumably voted for the KCAs. All I got was a sticker and disappointment. I'm assuming the tattoos are temporary using context clues. There's technically nothing there that says that for sure. Because the event itself is mostly lost, all of the content I watched for this show were videos uploaded directly to the Nickelodeon YouTube channel. You could see them in real time leaning into their viral status as the surprise Patrick face is plastered all over this event, but only this meme face. What a time 2015 was. And because of that, most of these videos are like get ready with me-esque vlogs of all the teen girl sitcom stars, like behind the scenes with Kira Kasarin, which I expected to be another piece of content not for me, but in actuality was a hard-hitting piece of investigative journalism about the rapid militarization of Nickelodeon happening concurrently in the background of all these Kids Choice Awards event and the terror of their newest invention, slime drones. With the advent of slime drones, it doesn't matter where you are. In a bunker, in your home, at a store, at a hospital, the slime drones will find you. Alright, now let's talk about something that actually matters. The 2015 Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards was followed up with the premiere of newest Nicktoon, Harvey Beaks. If you don't know, Harvey Beaks was created by C.H. Greenblatt, who is like probably the cartoonist that inspired me the most in my life. He wrote some of the best episodes of SpongeBob, of Fish Hooks, of Billy and Mandy. He even voiced Fred Fredberger. And of course, he created the 2007 Cartoon Network classic that almost single-handedly held up the network in its most trying times, Chowder. But then at the time, Cartoon Network went through a lot of reshuffling and he headed back to Nickelodeon. Harvey Beaks' quality shines through in just these first 11 minutes.
Now I claim my great reward. Achoo! My body rises high, and my heart is sunk so low. Daddy, look at the pretty fireworks!
No, son. Those are fireworks of shame. Turn your eyes away.
It is a gorgeous and hilarious show that not only captures the feeling of adventuring in a strange new place as an anxious kid while making you laugh, but also telling sweet, down-to-earth stories about what family can be in that context. It's beautiful, it's heartfelt, and funny, and pretty, and silly, and bold, and the series was canceled in under 1 year. And then the rest of the episodes that were already created and slated to release were pushed off to the death spot of the Nicktoons network, which the creator didn't even know about. He had to find out on Twitter. And then the episodes were delayed indefinitely when he had a very reasonable online public rant. But sure, yeah, Nicky, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn is probably okay. The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2016, held out of the Forum on March 12th, 2016, hosted by country music star Blake Shelton, and hosted on the pre-show by Charlie Puth, most well known as the guy who created the jingles to Shane Dawson and Friends. Among other stuff, I guess. It says here that Silento performed Watch Me live. He's perfect. Make him do the wee-wee dance.
Mamma mia!
Harvey freak, do the Harvey freak.
Yeah!
Harvey freak, do the Harvey freak.
Does anyone need to to stop and make a wee-wee?
It also says that Will Arnett was there to present a preview to the sequel live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, which apparently did in fact come out. I was unaware of this. Meanwhile, Amy Poehler is winning awards for her voice performance in Inside Out. So really, who won the divorce? Probably the guy who voiced BoJack. But Will Ferrell won the award for Favorite Movie Actor over John Boyega, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Pratt. Those are all of the Chris's. Will Ferrell won for his award-worthy performance in Daddy's Home. And although John Boyega didn't win the actor award, the Favorite Film Award was won by Star Wars The Force Awakens. I have never been more upset that one of these is lost. I would love to have seen that. I need to know who accepted that award because we know that Chewbacca and the droids had attended prior. I pray that BB-8 was there. Also good. This is the best movie out of this selection. Don't at me. Ross Lynch continues his win streak. SpongeBob continues his streak. Just Dance 2016 beat out Skylanders Superchargers and Super Mario Maker. But do not fret, Mario stands, because there is one, count 'em, one clip footage archive from this event that I managed to find.
Hello to all of our friends at Super Kids Choice. It's a me, Mario. Woohoo! And Luigi too. Ho ho! Oh yeah, the Mario Bros. Coming to you from the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but today, we're not here to rescue Princess Peach. We're here to find out the winner of the next award.
Oh yeah, this is so fun. Oh, but Luigi.
Yeah, Mario?
We're gonna need some help to do that.
That's nuts. I had no clue he was real. The event will be followed up by the premiere of School of Rock, the TV show. I know I've been a little unfavorable to all these live-action Nickelodeon teen sitcoms, but I actually do hold a lot of reverence for the School of Rock movie and the School of Rock musical. And I really feel for the lead, the person who plays Dewey Finn in this version, because obviously he is not Jack Black. I mean, they couldn't even get him for the Kung Fu Panda show. No way he's doing this. But if you wanted to make a musical show anyway, you could have cast Alex, that's all I'm saying. There are bits I genuinely find charming or funny, but they are all screeched to a halt and slapped in the face by this generic-ass stock library cookie-cutter Nickelodeon laugh track. Like, have faith in your show. It would be funny without it.
Oh, I'm more chill than you think. In fact, I used to roll a boogie.
I was hoping this show would be more of a Big Time Rush and a Ned's Declassified than a Game Shakers, but for what it is, it's charming. Or maybe I'm just going easy on it because I like when shows have songs in them. This episode ends with What I Like About You, like it's a fucking Shrek movie. Another proverbial pin in the proverbial corkboard. In the perverted corkboard. The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2017, returning triumphantly to the Galen Center on March 11th, 2017. And this year, the event was hosted by
The time is up, my time is now. Kids Choice Awards, my slime is now.
I was frantically writing this video in early April because obviously the video I had planned for May had to be moved. So as I'm reading this, I can't possibly know the outcome of WrestleMania 41 before it happens. That being said,
Fuck Cody Rhodes! I never liked that guy.
the host of the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2017 is the greatest of all time, your undisputed WWE champion, John Cena. 2017 is a transitional period for many reasons. This is before John Cena became an actual, industry respected actor. But way after he was on the Fred show. So it's not quite, this is a Nickelodeon guy or this is a popular actor. Not even that he's a wrestler. Because we're in 2017, we are placed firmly in the, this guy was a meme, let's make him the host. An event held in early 2017 would obviously include nominees from the previous year, and 2016 was bleak. Still to this day, I see normies posting about wanting to go back to the year 2016. oh, everything was so much better. No, it wasn't. This goes without saying, but there's no such thing as the better era you're thinking about. You just want to be a teenager again. Not me, though. I love being an adult with agency. In 2017, I was just watching YouTube videos, hoping that someday I could make YouTube videos. I know that cartoons haven't come up nearly as much in the second half of this series as they did the first or any other video I've made, but I talk about cartoons that I like because I'm passionate about the medium, not because I'm nostalgic for them. Being a member of the cartoon community, which I'm evidently a part of now, I'm the linchpin. All right, I'm holding all this shit together. I don't want to be a gatekeeper, but it makes it hard to discern who is an actual cartoon enjoyer and who just likes the shows they grew up with. They blend in just as much, talking about Adventure Time or Avatar or Gravity Falls, but the second you mention Amphibia or Infinity Train, they fully check out. All that to say, if you can indulge me in another crisis in the middle of this YouTube video, I don't want to be the nostalgia guy, but I remember a lot and I have a lot to say. Ultimately, why I decided to finish this series of videos, beyond, you know, times being really tough lately, is that I thought it would give me an excuse to talk about more modern cartoons. But not only was this event followed up by the premiere of Hunter Street, I have no reverence or nostalgia or anything to say about the guests of these Kids' Choice Awards. However...
All right, do your best Drake impression.
No! Run, children! Run while you still can! While the event itself is tough to come by, we can watch the full orange carpet live stream hosted by Daniela Monet, who credits herself as From Paradise Run, which is a show about running, built around the mysticism of Hawaii, using a lot of language and cultural garb. Wow, I'm learning so much about genuine Hawaiian culture. Thank you, Daniela Monet. The orange carpet live stream, which I watched in its entirety, I might add, also featured YouTube stars I've never heard of, but then also Jacob Sartorius, Jojo Siwa, and I think Jenna Ortega. Like, they don't say her name, but I'm almost certain that's her. She sounds just like her. She's also the only one to know the names of famous actors, so I have to assume it's her. And you know what? There's been a lot of discourse lately, so I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna cut through. I am a Jojo Siwa fan. Not in the way that I, like, enjoy anything they've made or are making. I just like that they're weird and people fucking hate them for some reason. Sorry to be a contrarian, but the easiest way to get me on someone's side is everyone hating them for being annoying. Man, I'm annoying.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Like, at least they care about cartoons. Also, like, as a preteen at the time, I had a deep-seated hatred for Jacob Sartorius. I hated that he was a very clear industry plant held up by paint-by-numbers corporate slop music. And that's all true. But with adult eyes, I have a perspective to learn that he was a fucking child. Being an adult, it's weird to look back at all these young teen boys and girls who their whole pitch, their whole allure was that they're attractive. Like, when you're a kid, because kids are where the money is, you think, oh, well, I find these guys attractive, so it makes sense that's why the entire industry is built around them being attractive. But then you become an adult and you realize that other adults, if not older adults, are in charge of said industry. And then one day you open your eyes and think, is Jacob Sartorius okay? Can we, like, check on him? There is nothing Jojo Siwa can do or say that'll make me feel anything stronger than pity. I'm not saying they cheated on their partner on live TV because they were abused by their parents and every other adult around them from a very young age, basically their entire life until they became a legal adult. I am saying that that shit probably fucks with your mental state a lot. Also, when you transition into YouTube and your only friends are Shane Dawson and Colleen Bollinger, what did you expect? Yes, the Kids' Choice Awards are now built around YouTube Kids creators that I have never seen, nor do I know anything about. But I guess ultimately I would rather children be watching YouTube videos geared towards them and appropriate for them than them constantly watching Jimmy's Squid Game with the mark of the beast in the thumbnail. I'm actually launching my own YouTube Kids channel, and I just wanted to pitch this to you guys because I'm very excited about my new project. Oh, sorry, it's hard to get through. This is Pomni Digital Circus Rizzes Up Camera Head. However, if there was ever a time to get answers, it would be now. While I was looking through this playlist curated by Nickelodeon, I happened across a video titled Make Slime with etc. And I thought this was it. This was the moment. Finally, after multiple failed attempts, I would learn the secrets of creating true 100% Nickelodeon slime. Not just years of trying, but years of dreaming, of watching Nickelodeon from afar, from behind a screen. A child sits on the floor, reaching out as the first words to escape its mouth is slime. So I went into this video with the idea that maybe I could finally learn the secrets of creating Nickelodeon slime, and maybe even transitioning to a segment in this video where I make it correctly. But then we see the kids at the table preparing a slime tutorial, standing in front of a row of ingredients, which I realize, wait, that's already slime. The active ingredient in the slime they're making is Nickelodeon slime. That's not how ingredients works. You're not making slime, it's already made. This accidentally or otherwise implies that Nickelodeon slime is actually a naturally occurring substance like that of tree sap or milk. Let's see the winners. Luckily this time we have an official Nickelodeon video of their on-retainer voiceover guy, not to be confused with the disembodied voice or the terrorist voice, reading off the winners to each category. Like Selena Gomez being the best female singer. Again. Just Dance winning. Again. Chris Evans wins Best Male Butt Kicker, beating out Robert Downey Jr. Ironically, for the movie, he beat out Robert Downey Jr. And Kevin Hart and The Rock win the BFF award, but I could find nothing to prove if Dwayne actually attended, potentially crossing paths with John Cena years after and before they would again. Suicide Squad won Best Soundtrack. I mean, it does have good songs in it. Wait a minute, what other movies came out in 2016?
Favorite movie? Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 2016 really is a litmus test. It's not a good movie at all. It's actually quite bad. But how much you dislike it tells me everything I need to know about you. They wanted to make a Ghostbusters movie with girls, and now we can't get insulin anymore. Exciting times we live in. But the best part of this Nickelodeon video is that the disembodied voice does the same like game show host inflection for every award they read off.
Favorite music video? Juju on that beat.
We were doing the whip, the nay-nay. We were bouncing all over the place, hitting the quan too.
Although I couldn't find the event itself beyond the orange carpet, I did manage to find a voting stream by Pie Guy Rules in 2017. Circling back to what I said earlier, as I was just sitting in my room, I desperately wanted to be a part of the cartoon community on YouTube. And now I have more subscribers and more views than one of the 3 guys I found as foundational, which I do not deserve. Alternatively, I did do my best to catch the premiere of Hunter Street, which I found streaming on Fubo TV. If you misspeak once in your day-to-day life, you've accidentally invented a new streaming service. But why would I subscribe to a laundering scheme when I could find the entire episode uploaded to YouTube for free? These shows are getting real bold with their product placement.
John Cena.
Sorry, Mello. Gotta go.
Yeah, sorry to bait you with this footage, but this event itself was actually impossible to track down beyond this opening sequence, where John Cena, returning to host again, gets trapped in the up slime down. There are a lot of actors on this show constantly that are right on the cusp of growing up and becoming respected. Like the previous year, Zendaya won multiple Blimp Awards for her long stint of shows and movies on the Disney Channel. But this year she won for an actual real-life movie, which was Spider-Man Homecoming, which she isn't even really in. Like, I do actually believe she's the best actress of this group, but in Spider-Man Homecoming, she's not even the romantic lead. She's a running gag. Basically, what I'm saying is that in a very short amount of time, Zendaya would graduate from the Slime Academy to move on to bigger and better things. Which I only bring up because, not to be mean, but you can legitimately tell that Millie Bobby Brown is very stoked to be winning a Kids Choice Award. Like, I don't think she'll ever be in a good movie, so we might as well just let her have this. I only bully this child so I can point out the most 2018 song choice for her walking up on stage.
Stranger Things.
Accepting for Stranger Things is Millie Bobby Brown.
Enough about Stranger Things. What's going on back with John Cena?
Wakanda forever!
John, I don't think you could. Then he runs the ropes in a ring they built for this event, or it's the one they've used previously. I hope you're starting to see the vision behind these videos. They actually exist to prove that the Kids Choice Awards is professional wrestling. But the cowardly Dwayne accepted his award by calling into the show via satellite. Like their entire WrestleMania feud. I don't think I've gotten it out of my system yet. John Cena makes it to the stage to usher in a new era of Kids Choice madness.
Swish, swish, swish. It's the Backpack Kid! Man, how does he do that?
I have never seen this kid without a 1,000-mile stare. What are they doing to him? And by new era, I mean John Cena's hosting the show again, Daniela Monet is hosting the orange carpet again, JoJo Siwa is still there. They're rigorously practicing the dance routine for the upcoming show. Something they never really stopped doing. Again, they have my unironic support. Maybe there's a little irony in there. I'm not talking about their decisions as an adult. I'm talking about their artistic choices. I would much rather them make the things they're making than leave the internet altogether. This is far too entertaining. There are genuine bigots that get less hate. I hate to say it, guys, but I might be too old for the Kids Choice Awards. Shocking, I know. JoJo Siwa wins favorite musical YouTube creator. Liza Koshy wins favorite normal YouTube creator, beating out the likes of Dan TDM and Markiplier and... don't worry about it. There's an award for most viral Instagram pet, and Grumpy Cat does not win it. She's the only one with a blue link. Also, why is Ben Schwartz there?
I'm so sorry. I thought you guys were cows.
Why?
Because of the way you were talking.
You heard us talking, and then you thought we were cows.
Who am I?
Nobody asked that. I did. Huh? You did not ask that. I'm
Who are you?
Right next
Thank you so much for asking. You guys know Bear Grylls?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm Stanley.
Favorite video game was Just Dance 2018. That's insane. Like, obviously, I'm confused over it beating Mario Odyssey, but I am truly flummoxed over the entirety of Minecraft. Where's Jack Black when you need him? It seems that more and more of these awards and award shows are virality based, when it used to be about the films, damn it. Also, not to be the friend that's too woke, there was an award for favorite dance trend featuring the Millie Rock and the Shoot Dance that was all won by Backpack Kid. But we don't have time to unpack that. That's actually not true. We have nothing but time. I actually don't have a lot to say about this event, and yet I'm typing until my wrists hurt. In the end, his time was in fact up, as John Cena was killed gruesomely in a slime explosion at the tail end of the show. This event was followed up by a new episode of live-action sitcom Night Squad, no relation to the indie game. Not even the premiere of the show. It's like episode 6. Streaming now on BET Plus. Now, I'm not gonna make any assumptions, but look at the poster to this show. What do you mean BET Plus? The entire show feels like an elongated SNL sketch. From what I can gather, it's like a school, but also medieval. Night Squad. The intro plays like 5 minutes into this episode, and I still am so lost. And this episode is all about two feuding enemies who are forced to stay handcuffed together to work out their differences. I won't lie to you. If I was born like 5 years prior, I would have been obsessed with this episode. I mean, maybe. That's even assuming that I would watch TV. Do kids even watch Nickelodeon anymore? It seems with every subsequent Kids' Choice Awards that they're leaning more and more towards the YouTube viral demographic, and it's not really sticking. Like I said, I would have a lot to say about this if I was the target demographic. Above all else, like any adult in a kid's sitcom, this eye patch guy is pulling all the weight. Not just his performance, but also his fits. I am transfixed. Good enough for BET? That's a different story. I wanted to say more about this show, but then Dailymotion played the same Ford ad 5 times in a row. So I got frustrated. The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2019, held out of the Galen Center again and hosted by one DJ Khaled. Let's ask JoJo what they thought of the Kids Choice Awards 2019.
JoJo, you're up next. The question is, are you ready?
I am.
Let's see what you got. Khaled.
This isn't even like top 10 weirdest DJ Khaled moments. I need these two on a podcast together stat.
I just want to tell you all one little thing. You know, I get hated on every single day.
Oh, is that so? You could hear my stomach growling. This may sound like an insane conspiracy, but every year of the KCAs, after a certain point, is based around marketing for one movie. Like previous years were heavily focused around Ninja Turtles, or when Poe from Kung Fu Panda was straight up there, or the 2-year reign of Victorious. This award show used to be about something, man. Do you remember that? when it used to be about the movies. It's surreal to see Candace Cameron accepting an award for the Netflix sitcom Fuller House, ironically bringing these shows full circle, or fuller circle. She was there in the first video specifically to prank her brother. I've said before that I have a lot of nostalgia for Full House, even if I don't talk about it a lot, if at all. Me and my sisters had the entire series box set that would bat around all of our different rooms and rotate in our personal DVD players and also the portable DVD player whenever we would go on trips. We would all gather around and watch the show together. All of that to say, this is a show that I absolutely loved and devoured as a kid and just wanted to see more, but I have not seen a single second of Fuller House, and I still do not intend to. You would think that this award show is built around the recent film Avengers Endgame, as the likes of Chris Pratt accept the Butt Kicker Award, looking confused about the prospect of being a human, and then they shoot slime specifically under his belt. Adam Sandler gets slime right in the face was the final straw that broke him before he went to go make Uncut Gems. Ariana Grande accepts her award over the phone after a very busy touring schedule and visibly shudders as she calls herself a Nickelodeon kid. What was I getting at? Or you may think that the entire show is built around David Dobrik, who is here, gifted an award by his good, close personal friend Josh Peck. Things are getting bleak. Because, going off this compilation posted to Nickelodeon's YouTube alone, there seems to be a ton of incomprehensible slime challenges. Kel Mitchell fights David Dobrik in a pillow fight battle in a newly constructed ring. Like, they already had a wrestling ring in storage, and they still understood the differences between a boxing ring and a wrestling ring. At least somebody does. It goes to a judge's decision because neither opponent could knock the other unconscious, and Kel wins the favoritism vote because his opponent is David fucking Dobrik. And then there's an Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader challenge. John Cena terrorizes more children by mowing them down with a military-operated slime tank in recompense for his death last year. I'm to believe he only recently turned evil. It's always been there, behind the eyes. Or maybe you think this show is built around the death of the Hall of Game award show, their competition, as the Kids Choice Awards dances on its grave. I mean, they host a relay basketball game and give these Mohawk Awards to a ton of athletes. They even hold a very specific segment where for the first time, someone who's earned the high honor is covered in gold slime. This looks like shit from a butt. Maybe the show is built around hit 2019 film Kissing Booth starring Joey King, who accepts her award and says the movie is all about young kids being able to be themselves. That's not what that movie's about. I have seen this movie. I mean, the year is 2019, a year that I already talked a ton about not months ago. I'm very deeply entrenched in this era. If you don't know, in 2018, Joey King became my favorite actress because she was continually in terrible movies, some of the worst ones I saw that year, but I could tell she was not bad at acting. In 2018, I watched The Kissing Booth, Wish Upon, and Slender Man all in a row, and I saw Slender Man in theaters. We had the poster. Whatever happened to that Jeff the Killer movie? But no, it's not built around 2018 film The Kissing Booth, or even 2018 film Slender Man. Also, while I'm talking about this era when I worked at the movie theater during the hype cycle of Super Smash Bros., one of the nominees for favorite animated film was The Grinch 2018. Just thought I should mention that. It's all connected. I can't escape that movie. What's next? Pinocchio 2022? Show Dance on Sunset. Also, Just Dance won favorite game again, and then my eyes wandered and I learned that SS Sniper Wolf also got a blimp. There is no justice in this world. The world I'm referring to is 2019. Can I finish my point? The Kids' Choice Awards are not built around Avengers or David or Kissing Booth or Slender Man. No, not when Will Smith and the cast of Disney's live-action Aladdin are lowered down onto the platform as orchestral music blasts to the children. Is it uncouth to say I'm nostalgic for this movie? Or at the very least, the experience of seeing it in 2019? Because again, I worked at the theater and remembered it vividly. The only thing I remember about this film, the live-action Aladdin, after seeing it multiple times, mind you, is walking into the theater to clean it, as I have not seen the movie yet, and the credits began to roll, and they were kicked off with DJ Khaled! I was very caught off guard. My deep conspiracy is that the only reason DJ Khaled is hosting this Kids' Choice Award event is because Will Smith pulled some strings and wants all the kids to go see his version of live-action Aladdin in some kind of cross-marketing campaign. That movie made $1 billion. What is this, a prank? Actually, hold that thought. The Kids Choice Awards 2019 was followed up by the sneak peek premiere of upcoming Nickelodeon show The Substitute. Not to be confused with The Substitute 1996 or The Substance 2024. And when I say sneak peek, I mean it, as all 4 minutes of this puppy were uploaded to Nickelodeon's YouTube immediately following. But it is a new premiere following a KCA event. We're talking about it. The Substitute is a hidden camera prank show where the guest of each episode has to get all dressed up in prosthetics and makeup to act as a random school's substitute.
Takes their lunch tray, steals a fry off their plate, talks loudly on his phone about his dog is loose.
Featuring guest stars like John Cena, the Bella Twins, The Miz. Wait a minute. Lele Pons, Lily Singh. The show ends with Ty Dolla $ign, and yet we're stuck with.
School's just a weird place, man. We're about to make it weirder.
He's already had acceptance speeches at the last handful of Kids' Choice Awards, but I didn't bring them up because Jace is a strikingly normal person. Like, I don't have any jokes here. I didn't watch his show, I was too old, but he seems like a good dude. However, the crux of this substitute teacher prank is that he's meant to teach these kids about the hotness of peppers. What class is this? Oh, this is feminist literature. These kids are already cheesing as he eats this hot pepper and does the hot pepper dance. Like, obviously I knew it was gonna be fake. It's a prank show for children, but they're not even good at hiding it. Man, it's only been a few years and the School of Rock has changed a lot. And thus closes the book on the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2019. The last time the Kids Choice Awards were normal. I've done this shtick before. I did it very recently. As we step into the next year, Andrew gets fired from his job, starts a YouTube channel, life has changed forever, yada yada, fuck you. But the Kids Choice Awards 2020 were held in May 2020, meaning they took place after, well, you know.
Breaking news, stay at home. That is the order tonight from 4 state governors as the coronavirus pandemic spreads.
The World Health Organization took a giant step today in declaring coronavirus a pandemic.
On this Wednesday night, the coronavirus officially reaches pandemic proportions.
More than 1,200 cases now reported in 42 states and Washington, D.C. Tonight, 4 more states added just today.
Everything I touch in the last 6 months, all the roads are leading to the same location. The Kids' Choice Awards 2020 held over several phones and cameras in celebrities' houses on May 2nd, 2020. Maybe you don't remember. I pray you do. But when lockdowns first happened in 2020, and no one knew how long they would last, and celebrities really wanted to remain in the cultural zeitgeist, a ton of TV programs, most of which had been over for years now, hosted reunions over Zoom calls featuring most of the cast because what else were they gonna do? It's not like they have roles lined up. It's like before this, whenever they held a High School Musical reunion, the entire cast was there except for Zac Efron. It's like, okay, you could tell which one of these is still getting work. Mostly teen sitcoms like Good Luck Charlie, Victorious, So Random, sure, why not? It's also the reason Community fans have deluded themselves into believing there's still going to be a Community movie, because Dan Harmon wrote the script for one while bored during lockdown. That movie is not happening. The Kids' Choice Awards 2020 were hosted by former Nick star Victoria Justice from her giant home, filmed on iPhone and laptop cameras. Apparently this event was held over 2 hours on Nickelodeon, but this 20-minute recap on their channel will more than suffice. I can't imagine watching an entire award show like this. Ironically, this is the first time since the 80s that the main focus has been on the actual nominees and awards. I mean, it's not like they could pull large slime stunts even if they wanted to. It keeps cutting to a second camera with Victoria's laptop in frame. What's this other camera? Who is this? Can Vicky see this, or is this just for the audience? The nominees for favorite movie actor are Marvel, The Rock and his friend,
and Will Smith.
I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Right, you'd be snuggled up with that dude for the rest of your life.
Y'all see my power?
How soon we forget. The Rock cuts a promo from his personal home gym bunker while holding the Kids' Choice Award blimp like it's about to blow his fingers off. Has it really been 5 years since Old Town Road? Why do we ever let this dude slip through our fingers? Instead, Senorita won.
We love you. Thank you so much for voting. We're gonna make organic slime right now and just slime ourselves.
These are your nominees for favorite movie actress.
Wait. I wanted to see that. I'll never learn how to now. Every single one of these theatrical films, including Cats 2019. I'm glad someone recognizes its legacy. Anyway, they all lose to fucking Descendants 3. Because after all, it's the kids' choice.
Starting right now, Nickelodeon is joining forces with an amazing organization called No Kid Hungry with a plan to end child hunger in America.
Oh? How come I've never heard of this? Did it work? Did they end it yet? We also get the nominees for favorite animated movie, mostly featuring sequels like Frozen 2, Secret Life of Pets 2, Angry Birds 2, The Lego Movie 2. Put a pin in that. Not all of them, obviously. The Lion King 2019 is nominated for the favorite animated movie. Is this not supposed to be a live-action remake? Like, I know it's entirely CG animated. I know that. I know that technically makes it an animated film. But was the purpose of these remakes not to remake them in live action? They should have gotten real lions and then put peanut butter in their mouth so it looks like they're talking. Instead, they just made the movie in VR chat. I don't even like Frozen 2, but I'm glad it won. Kristen Bell is the only star on this online award show who put forth even a modicum of effort, in costume and everything. Well, I mean, I guess Billy wore green. Stranger Things wins again for season 3, and by that I mean it wins for people remembering how season 1 made them feel. Wow. He either does not give a shit, or this is the most important thing in the world to him. Either way, it's the funniest response. Not like David Dobrik. You can tell he feels nothing in his hollow corporate soul. In comparison,
Get ready to get inspired by the one, the only, LeBron James!
We have a responsibility to not let these kids down because these kids are our future. We have a responsibility to not let these kids be our future. We have a responsibility to not let our future, these kids' responsibility.
I agree. Do you think he even knows they're using his footage? I have no jokes about BTS. I have nothing negative to say about BTS. I will not besmirch the name of BTS. I know journalists, if I'm gonna call myself that, aren't supposed to bend the knee to intimidation, but I've been on the internet long enough to know to not jump into the snake pit. Stans. I hate stans. I was gonna grab my Indiana Jones whip for that bit, but I genuinely... The other day it fell under a bunch of other stuff. And I'm at the point now where I don't have the energy to go digging through it. It belongs in a museum. SpongeBob wins its 19th Kids Choice Award, and maybe for the first time in those near 2 decades, it is actually the voices Tom Kenny and Bill Fagerbakke who accept the award. I don't really have any jokes about this. I think it's sweet. As well as Jace Norman winning his award again. I have nothing to say about him either, negative or otherwise. That's 3 awards back-to-back where I refuse to poke fun. We gotta change that.
My good friend and Victoria's castmate, Ariana Grande!
Oh, I'm sure.
Nickelodeon always will hold such a tremendous place in my heart, not only because of Victoria and Sam and Cat and the amazing years I spent working with them, but also just for SpongeBob, you know, so.
Oh, I'm sure. I didn't mention it, but the major performances at the previous year's Kids' Choice Awards in 2019 were actually multiple musical numbers from the SpongeBob SquarePants Broadway musical, and I didn't have anything to say about that. I didn't have any jokes. But now, I want to reiterate, by the way, I don't actually care about their personal lives. Like, it doesn't concern me at all, but you can't set me up with that perfect slam dunk and not expect me to capitalize. Cheating is bad, but also, like, I don't know them. Jojo, can you add some brevity to this event?
This is crazy. Oh my gosh, this is my 5th Kids Choice Award. Thank you all so much for voting for me always, for supporting me always. Thank you so much, Nickelodeon, for being my family. You know, these past 3.5 years with Nickelodeon have been some of the best times of my life.
This makes me profoundly sad. The nominees for favorite movie are Aladdin, Marvel, The Rock,
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
They fly now? Let's fly now!
I don't want to play this game anymore. Maybe I'm so used to them being literally or figuratively checked out, but seeing the main cast of the Avengers all on screen is kind of surreal, and they gift all of us struggling normal peasant folk by getting in a call together and all doing their own rendition of John Lennon's Imagine. Nah, I'm lying.
That's right, guys. We're stronger together. We'll get through this.
Whatever it takes. Love you 3,000.
Maybe I did have nothing but hate in my heart, but this used to move me. And now look at me. Bitter. alone. The Digital Kids Choice Awards 2020 ends with Victoria Justice sliming herself in the comfort of her own socially distanced home. And this event was, not surprisingly, followed up by nothing. No new episode, no new show, no sneak peek, no premiere. We have sat through playlists of videos, scraps of these events, as nobody bothered to archive them. This entire video has been grasping at straws. I mean, it was a last-minute decision. But this upcoming event, the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2021, I am happy to announce it has not only been found, fully recorded, and archived properly, but has also been preserved in the highest quality possible.
Well, it's almost time, Well, kids all over the world are ready to celebrate their favorites tonight. Awards, celebrities, slime. This is gonna be epic. You look good? And if you look good, then I gotta look good. Let's do this.
So this entire video, this footage from the Internet Archive, all feature-length 90 minutes of it, are archived in the form of some dude, multiple dudes, aiming a handheld camera at their TV as it airs live. We take what we can get. I also on the archive found a 360 stream of the orange carpet from a previous year, and it just didn't work. The Kids Choice Awards 2021 held out of the Barker Hangar, hosted by, evidently, Kenan Thompson. March 13th, 2021, yet another full circle moment. It feels like only last year he was wrestling the Macho Man over a golf ball. This event begins as Kenan Thompson crashes into Earth and makes a daring escape from the crime scene, walking into a coliseum of screens. Maybe just because it's a camera pointed at a TV screen, or maybe it's because no one is physically there, but it all sounds so echoey and empty. If they were gonna do it like this anyway, why does Kenan need to be there? What did he do to deserve the fate of a decade in space probation? The disembodied voice of Tom Kenny announces several celebrities that will make appearances, including the Vice President and Animal Crossing enjoyer, Kamala Harris. It would have been so cool if she won, and then in this video, I could have said that two former US presidents actually appeared on the Kids' Choice Awards before they were nominated. That would have been really cool. Everything would have... It would have been better, right? Not to get political, bros. I know she's not good, but surely this is better than whatever the fuck we got. But when Anna Kendrick wins the Best Voice Performance blimp for her character in Trolls, she physically comes out to accept the award.
Something that everybody loves, babies. And the only thing we love at Kids' Choice more than babies is letting you choose your favorite baby.
Oh, so we're actually doing this? This isn't a gag? We're voting on our favorite baby? David Dobrik gives an award to Charlie D'Amelio and not Jojo Siwa. I learned all of these names against my will, the punishment for living on the internet and never stepping foot outside. I am in a computer. That is not a euphemism or a metaphor. I am explaining the lore to you directly. The upside to this footage being directly pointed at a live broadcast is that I get to watch all the commercials, which in the modern era isn't nearly as fun. Commercials that let us in on the new episode airing following this Kids' Choice Award event. Side Hustle Season 1, Episode 12. But we'll talk more about that later. Or will we? Baby Shark wins the Best Baby, and we get some feedback from our live studio audience.
Aw, fuck no! Oh, hell no! No. Why?
I legitimately forgot there was a human person behind this camera, and that scared the shit out of me when I was listening to this. Another win for Stranger Things, 1 trillion to Netflix. Once Nickelodeon's newest IP, Baby Shark, caused a stir, the floodgates were open for our camera person to speak their mind.
Why do they gotta put Justin Bieber there? He's cringe. I swear, dude, they added 2 cringy things. First Baby Shark and now Justin Bieber. Now they're just stepping in some green stuff from Nickelodeon. Forgot what those are called.
Oh, this commentary rules. What do you mean you forgot what it's called? That's like this show's whole thing. Why are you recording it? Bowser from Other Video Game hijacks the Kids' Choice Awards 2021, exciting the vocal camera person and forcing the backstage stars to devolve into a Let's Play of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. We return to the stage after minutes of ads to Keeney Todd, the Keenan Barber of Fleet Street, destroying evidence of famous fakes moments in US history. Speaking of fake US history.
I'm so excited to be here at the KCA's and the family huge Nickelodeon fan. I even wore my brand new KCA 2021 t-shirt. And he did it. My old SpongeBob t-shirt was covered in Krabby Patty cake.
Once again, nobody is safe, even in the comfort of their own home. Actually, how did Lynn do this? Lynn, the recipe! I need to know the recipe! Cooper is the butcher! Your husband is the butcher! Millard Bobbert Brown wins the award for favorite movie actress and favorite TV actress against tough competition like Melissa McCarthy and Gal Gadot. She's running this shit, man. No one can step to her. She's got dozens of blimps now, and again, you could tell she's got an unquenchable thirst for it. Long will reign the regime of Millard Bobbert Brownlee. Very seldom do these events leave me speechless. It's happened maybe 2 or 3 times in every show I've watched so far. And I thought, surely because we're in the 20s now, it's only a handful of years ago, that nothing here can actually age that poorly. I mean, it did just happen. What happens next may shock you.
Our next presenter is a star of the upcoming Powerpuff Girls series. Give it up for Dove Cameron!
If you don't know, oh man, has it really been 4 years since I first talked about this? I used to be really anxious about how long I've been doing this, but on the other hand, I'm gonna make YouTube videos until I'm dead. The CW planned on making an edgy adult take on the Powerpuff Girls in live action, and by edgy and adult, of course I mean for 13-year-olds. I mean, if the Kids Choice Awards is shouting it out, then yeah, it's meant to be slop for children. That's not a knock against it, by the way. I don't think all slop is terrible or even has its innate value, because every generation has added their edgy teen slop. It's just a matter of if you grew up with Degrassi or 13 Reasons Why or Euphoria. I know those shows aren't for children, but like, come on, no adult with a fully formed brain would derive enjoyment from these shows. They're for adults in the way that Marvel movies are PG-13. Moving on from the previous year's winner from hit film Descendants 3, the Orange Blimp hunts down BTS yet again, even as they're off planet. They've done everything in their power to hide from the slimy hand of the awards, but still, despite it all, they were found again. I'm getting real tired of all these rich celebrities going up to space just to suit themselves. I was worried I would have to sit through so much more of the show. Luckily for the timeline, we get nearly 7 minutes of commercials between, and luckily again, one of them is Bowser's Fury. I forgot how much I really like this game. It is immensely funny to me that the female nominees for favorite actress are superheroes, young stars, and pop artists, and then you get to the dudes and it's Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, and Jim Carrey. You could argue, but Andrew, Robert Downey Jr. was nominated too. He's a cape flick guy, but you'd be mistaken. He's actually nominated for blockbuster film Doolittle, which he wins for, mind you. It's at this moment he is slimed that his internal dialogue is projected out loud. I need to win an Oscar. The souls of the damned trapped behind their screens scream in terror loud enough to register, unlocking a teaser for the upcoming Paw Patrol movie on the big screen. But not even those dog pigs or pig dogs can save the screens, but I know someone who can. But before we could see what could have been, we are treated with ads for the upcoming Nick Jr. show Baby Shark, with the premiere that will be following this event, a new episode of Side Hustle. I know that at the time, Nickelodeon was getting the rights to already popular intellectual property like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Garfield, and Alvin and the Chipmunks, and creating animated projects for them. But I was always under the impression that Baby Shark was just a YouTube video. Granted, that never stopped them before. Maybe even an archaic nursery rhyme that's been around for generations and I just never heard it. But actually, the rights holders to the Baby Shark cinematic universe is a very confused web. But Nickelodeon doesn't own the rights to Fred, I think. Nor does it own the rights to Baby Shark. I was gonna make a joke about like Cartoon Network isn't doing nearly as much because the only brand they were working with at the time was Unikitty, the spinoff for the Lego Movie show. But my thoughts on that show would greatly surprise you. New thing bad, old thing good. New thing bad, old thing good. New thing bad. Oh, speaking of, the Nickelodeon stealth bomber flies above the YouTube village. You know, the community, the cul-de-sac that all YouTubers live in. The gated YouTube community. I'm not surprised you haven't heard of it, considering your sub count. We all live in one big gated community. It's just as bad as it sounds. This is the vision for the future Walt Disney had when he bought Maker Studios. And they carpet bomb Liza Koshy as she threatens to get revenge on Kenan Thompson specifically. And yet again, only one person can bring an end to this incredibly elongated war. But she doesn't want to, because then people will be upset at her.
Here with a special message for you, let me introduce another trailblazer, Vice President Kamala Harris. who made history this year by becoming the first woman, the first person of color, and the first Mamala to hold this office.
You know, when I was young, my mother used to say, Kamala, don't just sit around and complain about things, do something about it. Well, you are doing something.
Now I'm just pissed all over again. Listen, God forbid I live out with a little Obama-era optimism, but like, we're fucked.
Generation of change is upon us, and you are that change. Hey, Lincoln Lab here with everyone's favorite heroes in a house check, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Some things never change, like Jace, Ariana, and LeBron winning blimps again alongside JoJo Siwa, who has both visibly and not visibly aged in 4 years of doing this. I do fear I'm repeating myself, but look at this lineup for favorite animated series. Legacy brand, Lego show of a film franchise, adaptation of a film, Teen Titans Go, but SpongeBob SquarePants wins again, and I really like how they do it this time. The pendulum swings back the other way. Before, I enjoyed them peeling back the curtain to show the voice actors, but now, only a year later, for the first time in a while, we get a fully animated sequence of SpongeBob and Patrick accepting this blimp. It really goes to show that animation did carry all entertainment during the pandemic. We should kill them for it. We cut to a child bashing their SpongeBob plushies against each other.
Let me give her a squeeze, Mr. Squidward! I wanna go home now.
It's really interesting that you could visibly track the evolution of SpongeBob just by watching these events. Imagining someone isolated on their own little island that the only outside world they have access to is the Kids Choice Awards. Wondering why everyone is behind screens. Maybe it's the same guy who spelt out SpongeBob's name in SOS format on the shore, and yet the tactical blimp refuses to save. And then in the final 10 minutes of the found footage on the Internet Archive, right before the finish line, the screen freezes on an ad for a gummy roll. More slime coming up, not if I have anything to say about it. I have made several videos that have, I don't want to say deep research, but require a lot of research that in turn require me buying streaming service or on-demand video or even direct DVDs. I made an entire video buying up ancient Star Wars memorabilia. I already got the fast food toys for this video, but in the nicest and calmest way possible. Times are tough and I am fucked. Did I throw together a last-minute video about the Kids Choice Awards because I needed money and the last video did really well? What are we talking about? The whole 22-minute episode of the Nickelodeon show Side Hustle, titled Dog Wedding, aired following the 2021 Kids Choice Awards event. Meaning I had two options. I could either watch the entire episode after purchasing it on Amazon for $3, or I could watch the couple minutes they posted on the Nickelodeon YouTube channel, and you probably wouldn't even notice the difference. The only reason you know that I didn't buy the episode is that I'm saying it right now. I'm the only one who's going to be honest with you. The side hustlers from the title were hired to host a dog wedding from the title, but the dogs are not truly in love with each other, which causes a lot of discourse between the two young entrepreneurs. But who knows? Maybe they're getting married for citizenship, or to combine two powerful families.
Did it translate what I said?
Of course not, you're not a dog. But this video is gonna get a ton of views.
You fucking freak. Gonna be real embarrassing if my video talking about it doesn't get a ton of views. Actually, define a ton. The dogs communicate with the entrepreneurs through a groundbreaking technology. Honestly, this should be their business. This should be their side hustle. Well, moving on. The Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2022, held out of the Barker Hangar, again hosted by adult baby Gronk and Miranda Cosgrove, but I have much more to say about the latter. Also, it's April 9th, 2022. Like, beyond her being involved with Jack Black's training montage, meaning this is the closest we're ever gonna get to a previous Kids Choice Awards host handing down the lineage to their next of kin. This entire ceremony is built around the then new iCarly reboot for the 20s. And by new, I mean episode 2 of season 2 would air for the first time on Nick at Night following the Kids Choice Awards, which I think wouldn't necessarily count if they didn't purposefully transition into it in this event. Now, I have actually seen this show. I mean, it only has 3 seasons. I thought it was inoffensive. There were 1 or 2 episodes that I thought were funny, but I don't know. Despite really liking the show as a kid, I don't think I'm like emotionally attached to any of these characters. Like, I probably liked iCarly more than anything on Disney, but if you brought back The Sweet Life, I would genuinely be interested in what those characters were doing as adults. The only strong emotions I feel when thinking about watching iCarly as a kid is, man, I miss my sisters, and I'm going to hell for thinking Lucas Cruikshank was cute. I lived a complicated life. Not a kids show, by the way. Despite this being called the Kids Choice Awards, we have now entered every year I say new era. I guess just a new year, but stuff is constantly changing, especially during pandemic times. But now there is no such thing as kid shows. Your children are not watching sitcoms made for them, tailored for them. They're watching Skibidi Toilet and Squid Game. I know it aired on Nick at Night, but like, we'll see very soon that this entire event is built around this reunion.
No, I just called to wish you good luck for the Kids Choice Awards. Honestly, I thought you ran a tight ship, but Miranda Cosgrove is kicking my butt.
Is this an AI model? Why do you talk like that? Miranda and adult baby Gronk train to get over 1,000 slimes in one show, but only manage 100 in one training montage. As they step out to the sea of fans, it's revealed that the
2022 Kids Choice Awards
is the first ever since 2019 to feature a live crowd. Am I feeling joy and excitement for escaping the pandemic in 2022? From a show I didn't even watch? This moment was post Paramount Heathers, but pre-thumb video. So getting back on track, one has to ask themselves, will this modern crop of children even understand Nickelodeon? What can we do to wrangle them back in? Screaming is probably the correct response. The KCAs have first responders on standby to slime all the protesters that want genuine change. That was dark, sorry. It is 2022 after all. I feel like this video is leaning more and more into political satire. Would it be ridiculous to get mad about a win on a fake kids award show that already happened years ago? Good question. A dance contest between Miranda and adult baby Gronk, joined by background dancers. And Miranda is so on rhythm that I assumed for a second they choreographed this, while the adult baby Gronkle slinks around like a lumbering creature of myth, and they give him the crown. This kingdom has no legs to stand on. Also, not to play favoritism, but this whole event is built around Carly, no? They just really wanted to flex that they killed the Hall of Game, even though it was never an actual competition to them. But also maybe mourning that loss. The Hall of Game Awards is really the only other award show could understand what it's like, and now it's gone. You are the most powerful, but you stand on a throne, all alone, looking down on everyone that's turned you away. This shit's pissing me off. Hey look, it's WWE superstars Nikki and Brie Bella. America's Got Talent wins Best Reality Show, and now the cast of Cobra Kai is presenting the award for Favorite Female Creator. First of all, the Kids' Choice Awards have been around since the 80s, and it's insane that teen heartthrob Ralph Macchio is making his first appearance on the Kids' Choice Awards in 2022. Secondly, are any of these fucking awards about movies?
And the blimp goes to Charlie D'Amelio!
I'm gonna be incredibly, sincerely honest here. I'm not saying this to be snarky or do a joke or make a point. Maybe other than to show how old I am now. I actually don't know who this is, and at this point I'm too scared I'll lose my internet points if I ask. Adult baby Uncle Gronkle's slime empire expands under his disastrous regime, spreading slime across all their biggest adversaries, like France, America, and America. I guess you could argue the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France. Recently, a friend told me that France was planning on taking back the Statue of Liberty, and what that means is they're doing it in writing, like in name. They're taking back the gift symbolically. But I'm not ashamed to admit that, like, for a good 10 seconds after I heard that, I'm like, oh, I guess they're gonna helicopter it out. Helicoptering as in using a helicopter. They're not gonna swing her dick all around New York City. The King of Slime hosts his own book burning, but instead it's the death of music in this nation while smashing the only food reserves left as the clamoring peasants begin to starve. An artificial shortage by a tyrant. They try to knock Charlie Puth down by sweeping his legs. And Ralph Macchio was already out of the building before anything could be done. Wait a minute, Olivia Rodrigo was from High School Musical, the series? I thought she was from Actually, I have no clue where I thought she came from. Supposedly wherever D'Amelio came from. A lab? Jill Biden, First Lady to Joe Biden, pleads with the King of Slime to let up on these historical landmarks with no strategic wartime value, but to no avail. Maybe BTS can do something about this. Legitimately, jokes aside, if any celebrity or group of celebrity could get people to mobilize in the streets, it would be BTS.
I am challenging you to a game of cookie face. You gotta put this cookie on your forehead, and then you win by moving it to your mouth using just your face muscles.
I fear I may accidentally expose my severe childhood, but there's a step missing to this, no? Miranda is running hosting circles around this guy while he continues to mobilize across America and also some of France. Common misconception, that Eiffel Tower was actually the one in Las Vegas, Nevada, not in Paris. I wrote a whole bit for Tom Holland before I realized that this was not him.
Here are the dumplings to announce some more of tonight's winners.
Good lord. By the way, this isn't a compilation, like 10 awards these little Gugas host back to back. The Children Yearn for the Chipmunks. Dixie D'Amelio. There's another one. What was that? She's Roblox?
In life you have roadblocks.
Welcome back, DJ Khaled. It's nice to see you. The cast of Danger Force, the spin-off of Nickelodeon hit starring multi-time blimp winner Henry Danger. Just without Henry Danger. They are unceremoniously slimed. I have no strong feelings towards Chance the Rapper, nor do I know anything about him. All I know is that in high school, a lot of my friends would talk about him all the time, and then one day, it just stopped. I have no clue where this guy went. This event has 3 unique endings. It depends on which path you choose while playing through the game. The first is the crux of this whole show, the cast of the iCarly reboot accepting one blimp for the show and another for Miranda herself.
And I just want to say it's an honor to be able to play a Sapphic queen. Shout out to the Sapphic girl!
You can talk all you want about how forgettable this reboot and this event are in the grand scheme, but this is really what it's all about. I don't know why that impacted me so much. It's a fake award show from 2022, but like, listen, times are tough right now. This makes it all worth it though. Oh, here we go. Now this is the Tom Holland I know from hit films such as Uncharted and The Impossible and Chaos Walking. That's it. That's the joke I wrote earlier. The setup kind of makes it seem unfunny. I think the joke makes it seem unfunny. You would think they used the iCarly ending to transition perfectly into the new episode of the reboot at Nick at Night, but instead it comes to a close as Miranda and adult baby Uncle Grunkle Gronkle Jr. get double blasted to put the slime counter over the 1,000 metric. Oh, sorry, I mean, the slime-based rebels take down the tyrannical Slime King from his position of power with a politically charged attack for liberation. In theory, I don't have to talk about this new episode premiere because it aired on Nick at Night. I'll be quick. The iCarly of the iCarly reboot is quite different from how it was in the children's show.
Waffles in warrior pose. Both empowering and delicious.
What kind of millennial hell is this?
Carly Shay is brought to court by her former doorman Lubert, suing her for emotional distress and damages for all the times they tortured him on their web show. What they don't touch on in this modern reboot is that if iCarly was a popular web show in 2025, their fans would have found this exact apartment complex immediately. Also, they'd be thirsting after Lubert. Basically any mediocre white man. Like me, for example, I'm objectively like mid to bad. I know I've been ugly my entire life. Trust me, people have told me to my face. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, just because I'm a YouTuber, it raises my stake and people are deluded. It's like a smoke screen a little bit. I promise you could do much better than me. This episode is actually kind of fun. They even shoved the new characters into a B-plot. I don't even dislike these guys, but I feel like they play better with each other or their individual friends than anyone in the main cast, with the one exception being Freddy. He actually has really good stories with both of these two. The iCarly reboot, only airing a few years ago, manages to pull out one final Seinfeld ripoff by having the courtroom filled with victims of the Shay household. Guppy, Chuck, a horned-up Mrs. Benson.
I've got stamina.
Just ask Marissa.
I was perpetually exhausted.
I am going to set myself on fire.
If this is the cost of an adult reboot, I'm here for it. Fuck it. In the end, it's revealed that Lubert is just as annoying as ever, and because of that, he deserved all of this torture. I really thought this show was gonna be a deconstruction. I mean, they still have to pay the settlement. In all fairness to the reboot, that is pretty accurate to iCarly. A lot of those episodes ended with no winners whatsoever. And that entire bracket, that over an hour of premieres, back-to-back premieres, aired on Nickelodeon, built around that Paramount show, iCarly, the reboot. Speaking of, the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards 2023, held on March 4th, held out of the Microsoft Theater, hosted by I don't know anymore. Every year that passes, there's less and less awards, less and less movies, less and less people, games, shows I recognize. What am I even doing here? Is this really all I've been reduced to? Talking about shows I have no passion for, no drive for? Is that what selling out feels like? Losing a bit of your soul? I never thought I believed in souls until now. Making an entire video not for the purpose of sharing, but because I know it'll get eyes back on my actual passion projects? Is this really all I have to say after I was forbade from talking about wrestling?
Go Cameron!
Oh my god! From Powerpuff Girls fame? Xavier Woods, Big E, Becky Lynch, Montez Ford, Bianca Belair? Fuck everything I just said. This truly is the second best thing to actually watching professional wrestling. WrestleMania 39 is right around the corner, less than a month away. Either this championship is a fully new lineage and the third championship to appear in the series, or all three appearances of these titles have been the same championship, just redesigned after each was vacated. And not once did we get the spinner belt. At least to my knowledge. Also, my previous statement earlier about if anyone can find this title, I'm very excited about this. Maybe it's just because this WWE Championship is one of the best looking in a bubble and I really liked this era of wrestling television, or maybe it's the slime decals talking, but this is by far the hardest looking title on this show so far. Montez Ford aligned with the boys, leading to his wife having to recruit a child. And you may think that the girls winning this tug-of-war battle in the hands of a child was rigged in her favor, but you're forgetting how crazy fucking yoked Bianca Belair is. Look at this. Miranda Cosgrove returns to her new forever home to present the once prestigious Favorite Actor Award. Wikipedia lists the nominees as Tom Cruise from Top Gun Maverick, Jim Carrey from Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Dwayne Johnson, Black Adam!
I truly forgot all these movies came out the same year. They also say he won for Best Voice Performance, and he's sitting in a sunny tropical background, but wait a minute, Moana came out before I even graduated. Oh, okay, here's the problem here, I see. Yeah, no, he won for DC League of Superhero Pets. The last 4 movies that were nominated or won awards that I just listed, I saw in theaters. In the same theater. I'm watching the show on YouTube in the high quality I pay premium for, and still the quality drastically drops under green confetti. I have to believe it isn't a technical issue, and instead some kind of ancient curse. I know I've said this a lot before, but it reigns true. Only one person can save us now. All the previous listed weren't up to snuff. I need a hero.
Thank you all. I am honored to accept this Lifetime Achievement Award on this special night. Let this award seal the bond between humans, Maximals, and Autobots as we fight together to protect the planet. This is Optimus Prime, signing off. Kids Choice Awards, roll out.
Once again, there are only 2 people who have ever won the Lifetime Achievement Award. Optimus Prime and some other guy. 2 men who aren't real. Kids Choice Award in the past have existed mainly to market upcoming films to the general public. It just so happens to often be films I don't really care about. But let me tell you, when I saw Seth Rogen introducing Brandy Noon, Micah Abbey, Shamon Brown Jr., and Nicholas Cantu, he had a killer 2022, by the way.
You don't understand that you're talking to, like, a Michelangelo, my time.
Wait. But he's supposed to play Leonardo. By the way, somehow, some way, this is the second BH Ultra video this guy has appeared in under 1 year. The big inflatable mouth shoots slime from the back of its throat, and then gift an award virtually to rising star Jenna Ortega, who shows her class as an actress by busting out the time-tested fake compliment of a lot of people worked very hard on this show. She's a real class act, she's a professional. Then uses her Wednesday powers to make the Microsoft Theater all dark and fucked up. But Microsoft does enough of that with their updates, hey? The Kids Choice Awards 2023, according to the YouTube video they uploaded, ends abruptly with no fanfare or slime fare whatsoever. Why'd they lower Mr. Beast from a UFO? Is this a code for something? I've been constantly fighting with myself back and forth about what premieres following the Kids' Choice Awards I did and didn't want to talk about. Previously, I skipped over premieres that took place at Nick at Night, the nighttime adult block on Nickelodeon that immediately followed the Kids' Choice Awards as that event gets pushed farther and farther back into the night. And I specifically went around that rule so I could talk about the Paramount Plus iCarly reboot. But the premiere following this Kids' Choice Award is actually the 11th episode of the animated Big Nate series based off the famous comic strip of the same name. I'm pretty sure the first time I ever actually saw anything about this show was when they aired Big Nate short before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem film. I'm pretty sure, because I remember seeing it. It's exciting that we're entering a Kids' Choice era that I've actually seen all the nominees, and re-entering an era where they actually show premieres of cartoons. Big Nate Season 1, Episode 11, Till Death Do We Rock. Well, I hate Big Nate's voice. Like, this isn't nitpicking, and I hate to be that guy to kick a show while it's already canceled, but it doesn't fit at all. It's not the voice actor I don't like, it's the voice in this kid. And this isn't even a problem of adult voicing a kid, because all the other characters are voiced by adults, and they sound absolutely fine. And before you say it, it also has nothing to do with the plot of this episode being Nate's desire to be a lead singer in a band, even though he sucks at singing. That is purposeful. I'm talking about all the dialogue between those moments. I can't stand this voice. I'm gonna kick your son in the ribs. Luckily, I never have to watch this show ever again. Which brings us to, well, the Kids' Choice Awards 2024, held out of the Barker Hangar on July 13th, 2024, marking the event's move into summer instead of spring. 2 years back, we had an event revolving around the new iCarly reboot, but this time in 2024 to celebrate the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants, the 20-time favorite cartoon winner. Hosted by the characters themselves, SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick Star. And it's here where I found my love for the Kids' Choice Awards again. From Rated K for Kids review show to the first airing to the rise of Nicktoons, the height of the 90s, Rosie O'Donnell's reign of terror, into this video that started with events covering the years I was most cognizant to the moment I fell out and never looked back, to the era of YouTube Kids. This here is what the Kids' Choice Awards is all about. Sandy Cheeks introduces Patrick Star and SpongeBob SquarePants to the stage as motion captured 3D models. Wait, so the kids who are here can't actually see anything. Also, I know they can't be the same ones. These are obviously much higher fidelity, but these look almost exactly like the video game models they used for the MTV video mods back in the day. All the SpongeBob.
Who are they? A strange form of surface life known as celebrity.
Yeah, you tell him, SpongeBob. I'm telling you, I would have absolutely ate this shit up if I was a kid. I'm glad the children of today are still rocking with the sponge. Get to see him perform in all his glory. Unless you actually paid to be there live. You see, in the 2020s, the NFL began airing games on the Nickelodeon network, an untapped market for most of these kids' channels. Like, the Hall of Game Awards was mostly basketball. The superior sport, if you ask me. And as the years went on, these games would add visual flair tied to Nickelodeon, as well as their iconic characters like Dora the Explorer appearing in markers on screen, allowing SpongeBob and Patrick, voiced live by Tom Kenny and Bill Fagerbaki, to commentate over several games, including the Super Bowl, which is maybe why they started moving the Kids' Choice Awards closer to the summer as opposed to the spring, as the Super Bowl often falls in February, at the very end of February. Which brings us here, modern day, the most current Kids' Choice Awards event with SpongeBob and Patrick. Like the backdrop being Bikini Bottom covered in slime. Also, I swear to God, Renee Rapp says, "Thank you, them Bob."
Thank you, them Bob.
Like, it's not just me, right? She calls the sponge them Bob.
Them Bob.
Does Renee know something we don't? Renee knows several things we don't. Be honest, if she started calling me non-binary, I'm like, fuck it, I'll roll with the punches, I'll do it. They decimate her in slime. They even do a bit of having SpongeBob and Patrick interact with Keenan and Kel. I didn't even grow up with K and K, but I understand the gravity of this moment. And they give them an award for Good Burger 2? That movie came out years ago?
Oh man, first of all, I want to thank Jesus.
For Good Burger 2? Ultimately, if you think about it, the crucifixion led to the creation of Good Burger 2. This was actually postulated early by Bible scholars. It was a mark of the end times, and still is. The classic Nick duo get their own undersea henchmen to decide the winner of the best villain performance of 2023, which gives us the most important voice clip of the modern era.
Austin Butler and Fade Waffa Harkonnen in Dune Part 2.
You're telling me multiple-time host Jack Black won for his performance as Bowser, but this is the year he didn't even show up? That's how you know he sold out.
Listen, you're all a bunch of bitches, 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 bitches.
Man, this show is great. We just saw two Nickelodeon duos interact, and now Serena Williams is gifted a Legend Award. But then it cuts to Ryan of Ryan's World, star of upcoming film Ryan's World the movie. This guy is like 30 or 40 years old, and they're still making him unbox things. Let him balance his checkbook.
Whoa. Choice Award. It looks like it's the award for favorite social music star, Bella Poarch.
Oh. I genuinely thought it was gonna be Ryan. At the end of the show, SpongeBob and Patrick, on a screen that everyone there live can actually see them, bring out the color guard and marching band and cake, all to celebrate SpongeBob SquarePants' birthday.
Wow! This really has been the best day ever! Thank you all so much! I love the Kids Choice Awards!
You know what? So do I. This was the best Kids Choice Awards event in a while, going back to its roots to make sure Nickelodeon knows what made it great. The Nicktoons. Following previous Kids Choice Awards event, we got to see the premieres of shows that Nickelodeon shafted, like Angry Beavers and Harvey Beaks. I'm still bitter about Harvey Beaks. And for a while, following the victorious three-peat, it seemed for the foreseeable future, this network and thus event were going to be focused on live-action sitcoms and prank shows. But now, I'm a little more optimistic. I worry often that I'm forcing myself into a niche, that I'm always gonna be the nostalgia guy, or more realistically, a nostalgic guy. I really want to talk about movies and shows and games from my childhood because I have a lot of opinions and a lot of things to say about them. But at the same time, I have a lot of opinions on modern games and modern shows and modern movies. Go see Sinners in IMAX now. It's going to be the best film of the year. I want to give myself maneuverability. I mean, that's why we're here, right? That's why I'm wrapping up the Kids' Choice Awards, so I could put an end to another book, close that, and move on into greener pastures. I love cartoons, but I promise you, I'm not one of those fake fans that only like stuff from my childhood, all right? I genuinely really like Stugo. It's one of the modern shows I'm most excited about. Also, just a little side note, the day we actually managed to release the Back at the Barnyard video on the BH Ultra YouTube channel, a video that includes multiple references to Adult Swim's teenage euthanasia, and a trend that is now common for me, that we found out that the show was canceled. Like the very same day the video went up. How does this keep happening to me? I didn't kill Pibby. I mentioned this before, but I had a previous draft of a video rotting in my Google Docs where it was sort of a spiritual successor to the forgotten shows of Nickelodeon, except it focused on modern Nickelodeon shows that I feel like not enough are talking about. That is until I realized the modern shows were SpongeBob, Dora, The Loud House, Fairly Odd Parents. No smoke to these shows, I actually like some of them, but they're not new. And while I didn't love what I saw of the Big Nate show, I'm glad that nowadays the Kids' Choice Awards are still followed up by premieres of cartoons. And it's only fitting that this event, the most recent Kids' Choice Awards that was revolved entirely around SpongeBob and the lineage and legacy of Nicktoons, was followed up by a new episode of Nickelodeon's newest Nicktoon, Rock, Paper, Scissors. This show isn't fully on any streaming service that doesn't require buying individual episodes, as the show is still very new. But it has been renewed for a second season already, and they have several episodes uploaded on YouTube. They just aren't the episode that aired this day. But after watching multiple episodes of the show, I have to say, I kind of love it. I love the art style, the writing, both in absurdism and mundanity, and how perfect the main cast bounces off each other. This is the first time in a while I've been excited for a Nickelodeon cartoon. A Nicktoon. Maybe I'm biased because it's one of the very few new Nick projects that isn't tied to a previously existing property, unless you count the game of rock, paper, scissors as an existing property. I'm already endeared to these characters and this world and this show. It's the same kind of high I felt when I first discovered Apple and Onion. Maybe it's just the SpongeBob coming inside me, but for the first time in over a decade, I am hooked on a new Nicktoon. Please, please do not make this video age poorly. Speaking of aging poorly, when I planned this video out last minute, I left a section opened on my script so that I could talk about the Kids Choice Awards 2025, assuming that they would have already happened, unaware that they have since moved these yearly events to the beginning of summer. The Kids Choice Awards 2025 apparently airs June 9th, 2025, which should be going up around this time if the producers, if the powers that be did their job correctly. Maybe. So really, as I'm writing this and then filming this, we don't know anything about the Kids Choice Awards 2025. We don't know when it's going to air, who is nominated, and who is going to win. But by the time I'm editing this video, see, my issue is I feel like right from the skunk, I don't know any of these people. Favorite male breakout artist? Well, this is Leon Thomas from Victorious. From your network, this is Stranger Things. So it's really just a matter, I know he doesn't want to be known as Stranger Things. It's really just a matter of which one deserves the lineage of the Kids' Choice Award. All I know is that as a queer man, I have to find Benson Boone corny. I don't know anything about this guy. He does backflips, maybe? I'm gonna go with Leon. Leon! Help me! Favorite female creator. I don't know any of these people. I don't know, is there a Strange Aeons option? I feel like I've heard the name Emma Chamberlain. Oh, Miss Rachel. Absolutely. I don't even need to look at the other ones. There's only one of these that stand... All of these children... Kids Diana show, Zionist. Ryan's World, Zionist. Miss Rachel's the only one I fuck with. Do any of these people play video games? Like, I know them, but not from, like, playing video games. I think I'm gonna go with the dude who looks like he's 40, because I think that's a real gamer. I'm interested to see what Speed would do if he shows up at the Kids' Choice Awards. Make him drink the slime. Male animated voice in a movie. Okay, the options are Despicable Me 4... Despicable Me 4. I was shocked by how much I liked Chris Hemsworth in Transformers 1. I thought it was going to be gimmick stunt casting. Yet again, Keegan-Michael Key is snubbed from the male animated voice category, but I'm gonna pick Keanu Reeves as the voice of the water tower at Lumen Industries from Severance Season 2. Favorite butt kicker. They're still making Descendants movies? Oh shit, Jace Norman. There was a Henry Danger movie? Anthony Mackie's making the same fucking face. Somebody once... on some website somewhere said he perpetually looks like he's holding a frog in his mouth, and I can't not see it anymore. I think the funniest possibility is that the Minecraft movie wins favorite butt kicker, but it's not Jack Black, it's her. I don't know if she does anything in the movie. Also, there was like a good month or so before the movie came out that I was convinced this was the witch daughter from the Santa Clauses show. Favorite song? Fuck it, give it to Kendrick. Sequel to a movie that already won favorite animated movie. Probably so did Moana. Mufasa the Lion King. Fuck off. I mean, The Wild Robot won the Oscar, even though we all know it should have been Memoirs of a Snail, but evidently that's not on here. Plankton the Movie, releasing exclusively on Twitter.com. Out of all of these, sorry Transformers 1 gimmick account, Dogman. Actually, no, The Wild Robot's better. Well, it's too late. My answer's already locked in. Favorite song from a movie. Okay, well, the Smurfs movie isn't even fucking out yet. I do see DJ Khaled's name in there, very small. I always went to the brother. I always went to the brother. I'm noticing something interesting here. This isn't like favorite original song. This is just song from a movie. And the song they chose for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was Run It. I think if you replaced this with Live and Learn, it would have won. Also, of all of the songs, you could tell that they picked these like a month in advance, maybe. Of all the songs to pick from a Minecraft movie, you pick I Feel Alive. It says 13 million views. I mean, Defying Gravity, right? Favorite female animated voice from a movie. This is such a strangely worded category. Maya Hawke, Stranger Things sweep, LeBron James again. Where's Shaquille O'Neal? or Tony Hawk. Favorite music group? I'm glad Blink 182 is here. The Jonas Brothers? Linkin Park? I don't understand. Where's Fred Durst? How many categories are there? Favorite viral song? I want Charlie to show up and get blasted with Brat Green Slime. Although Pink Pony Club is the best song out of this group, I just, for the memes, for the green. Favorite podcast? Do kids listen to podcasts? Nikki and Bree show? We gotta get our WWE representation in there somewhere. Which wrestler's gonna show up this year? What's the over-under on Cody Rhodes showing up this year? Favorite movie? Oh, it's gotta be Captain America: the Red Hulk shows up in this one. Favorite reality TV show? Okay, I thought these were a part of their names for a second. I'm like, oh shit, Africa's nominated? By Toto? I fuck with Shakira. I've said this before, everyone holds up Hips Don't Lie. And it's a pretty good song, but it's not her best. I don't think it's even top 5. I'm more of a She-Wolf kind of guy. I was blasting She-Wolf in my bedroom when I was a kid, and my parents probably should have had a lot more questions. I was out wooing out the window. I wanted to be a She-Wolf so fucking bad. Bruno Mars. Favorite movie actress? 2 from Wicked, 2 from Beetlejuice, Millie Bobby Brown from The Electric State. Does that legally even constitute as a movie? You know what? Fuck it. Emma Myers. I think I'm locking in an Emma Myers sweep. I am Emma Myers' biggest supporter. I saw a lot of sexism going into the Minecraft movie. By the way, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. Yes, I do. A lot of you acted like fucking buffoons and dickheads when the Minecraft movie came out. I worked at a movie theater. My job was to clean movie theaters. I think you should go to hell. I feel like I've heard Caitlin Clark's name, but I've also heard Simone Biles' name. Favorite cartoon? Dragon Ball Daima? But can Kid Goku defeat SpongeBob SquarePants? I don't think so. Is this the Monster High show where they had the song? I don't even know how it goes. I am the alpha. I am the one who knocks SpongeBob. Favorite video game? I think, legitimately, Just Dance has won the last 10 Kids Choice Awards. So if is this the ones I want to win, or am I gambling? Do I want to see how many I got right? I got most of my Nintendo Direct predictions right. I got bingo. Fuck it, I'm locking in Just Dance. I think the kids are still rocking with Just Dance. Favorite male artist? It's going to be a close race between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I want Kendrick and Drake to be at the same show so badly. I don't think it's fair, because these are very different genres. I like Kendrick and Bad Bunny. And Bruno Mars, Kendrick. Favorite kids TV show? Where's White Lotus? I'm pretty sure Bunked is a continuation of Jessie. And Wizards is a continuation of Wizards. And The Thundermans is a Do we make new shows anymore? Ayla and the Miners. Favorite male TV star, kids. Okay. Hero Hunter. I know this name. One, because it's a cool fucking name. And he was recently announced as, he's going to be playing Darwin Watterson in the Gumball reboot. I know Nicholas Cantu. These are all like mostly children, and then David Henry. That's Ronald Reagan himself. Favorite music collaboration? Ooh. I think if there's any modern music sensation that would legitimately love to be at the Kids' Choice Awards, it probably would be Sabrina Carpenter. I'm not even saying that in a bad way. I fuck with Sabrina heavy. I was kind of unkind to Kira Kasarin, so let's just give it to her. This, oh my god, I actually don't... Glorilla. Hasn't Glorilla been around for a while? I guess this really puts into perspective how impactful 2024 was. Chappell Roan, Sabrina Carpenter, Doechii. I really liked the first Doechii song, but I'm really sick of that anxiety song. I want to see Chappell Roan chop it up with SpongeBob. Favorite villain? Like in real life? Probably probably Frankie Grande. I know that they can just decide to not show up, right? But the prospect of having Harrison Ford at the Kids' Choice Awards is simply too scrumptious for me to turn up. It is really funny to have Marvel, Wicked, Sonic, Beetlejuice, Henry Danger the movie. Yeah, I think so. Who else is gonna tell me that racism is wrong?
Why won't you adopt me?
Because you're black!
This isn't the Kendrick album I wanted. Wicked the soundtrack. You're not Neil. Can I get a Neil Nation real quick? Sure the Neil Nation gift. Yeah, if I was voting for a Neil, that'd be a different story. So let's go with Janelle. Favorite female artist? I'm gonna vote for Lady Gaga for her performance in Joker Folie Deux. from 2024. Or I could vote for Selena Gomez for appearance in Amelia Perez. No, Lady Gaga. Joker sweep. Why isn't Joaquin Phoenix nominated for a Kids' Choice Award? Oh, here we go. Favorite male TV star. Jude Law from Skeleton Crew. Yeah, all right, sure. Lord of the Rings of Power. What do you constitute as a family TV show? I recently watched all of the Karate Kid films. I talked about it in this video, but I didn't watch any of Cobra Kai, so I have to assume that it's... I'm going with Abbott. Abbott on Abbott on Abbott. Chris Pratt, The Electric State. Red 1! Lock in. Oh, vote again. I unlocked 1 out of 5 cards. Wait, I keep voting to unlock more? I'm stuffing the ballot box. Do all of these votes count? I want to unlock the fucking Nickelodeon NFT. That's what the N stands for. Nickelodeon Fungible Fungeless token. I'm clicking as fast as I can. I think what I'm doing is accidentally just like canceling out all the votes I already did already. I voted for Abbott twice though, so I'm stuffing this ballot box. I'm going to be sitting at my desk all day. It really is incentivizing you to vote 5 times. Why? I got to end this video somehow.
Crispy and juicy, now you're having a stack. Ooh, super spicy.